Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Hard Community Race for Sunday, April 18th. I'm Big Backed, commentating alongside Tiberius with Warren Traveler on tracking. How we doing?
I'm doing fine today, Bach. Hope you're doing well, and just looking forward to some hard mode SMZ3.
Yep, hard mode is. Yeah, I like watching hard mode more than I like watching normal, but it's pretty close in either case. I like the extra tricks that hard mode requires. I guess I should say.
Absolutely, it's always interesting too to see if it's a hard mode seed that requires the hard mode tricks, or if it's just a bunch of hard mode runners who already know the tricks and they're not going to need them. So it's always funny to see if the easy seed should be better with hard tricks, or if the hard seed is better with just following a vanilla route. But we'll see what we have today.
Right. We've got Simo and MM2 NAS cartridge racing on the stream. And off stream, we also have Maniacal, Neaterific, A0, Farfaloo, Letifice, Omniflash, Tony Young, Blendation, Raikou Rider, SP Ridley, DVS7, Asmati Games, and Nizzle, Vamstar87, PPTM, Rich Kupo, Freddy N3K, Joe Shark, and Vion. So we've got a big field today. 21 entrants.
Absolutely big field and a lot of great runners here at not only SMZ3 but SMZ3 hard mode. So like we were alluding to, gonna see some really cool tricks that are in the logic, things that might not be in logic in the normal mode, like the mock ball, the immediate wall jump up into the gauntlet area in Criteria. So a couple of different tricks. Hey, we might even see some Suitless Meridia and Upper Norfair.
Yeah, there is a list of tricks on the Randomizer website that the hard mode can't expect. Tiberius, would you be so kind as to drop that in the chat?
I can grab it in just a minute, sure.
Alrighty. We're still waiting on a few racers to ready up, so while I'm thinking about it, what are you hoping? Is there anything in particular? Is there any item you want to see at a particular location?
I really want to see just a big execution battle here, so I'm really hoping for both orbs early, so we get to see wild divergence and just watch these two runners do what they do best. If I'm looking for something that's going to be a troll, let's go with a trolley hammer today.
Gotcha. Now, speaking for myself, I like seeing items that showcase Showdown in Lower Norfair. I want to see Moon Pearl there today.
Sorry for the delay. I did drop that link in the chat there for anyone who wants to take a look at the information page.
Great, thank you, Tiberius. Alrighty, I think we've got everyone's ready. Just waiting for our gatekeeper to drop so that the countdown can start.
It looks like in chat they're calling for Ice Beam on Shack Tool. I don't know what's worse, Moon Pearl in Showcase Showdown or Ice Beam on Shack Tool. At least you can get away with not having Ice Beam, I guess.
Yeah, Ice Beam is not strictly necessary since you can power bomb the Metroid Centurion. But it does make a lot of the underwater navigation without the gravity suit easier. Alrighty. MM2 Nasty is not quite cropped properly. I have made the admins aware. We should hopefully get him fixed up shortly. But until then, here we go. MM2 using a custom Samus palette and Simo using standard. There goes MM2 with arm pumping. Now, whenever you aim your gun while you're moving forward, it shifts you forward a pixel. You're not actually moving faster, it's a series of position changes, but it comes to essentially the same thing. Alrighty, MM2 Nest straight into Link to the Past, as is Simo, so let's see what we got here.
Really quick map check there. I believe I saw a pendant on Eastern, a 5-6 crystal at Desert, and a regular crystal up at Tower of Hera there.
I saw the blue pendant and the Hera crystal. I didn't see Desert.
Yeah, double check the restream there. It is one of the 5-6 crystals, so that's going to be a red crystal there at Desert.
Alrighty, and our first item at Link's house is the first shield. I see Simo using the Luigi sprite, MM2 Nest using the standard Link sprite, and they're both heading up to the moat. Going for a tree pull. What do we get? Bluebies. That could have been better.
Could have been, but still good to know. It's a free 20 rupees if you find yourself just a little bit short before Zora or Bottle Vendor or even Pod.
Right. Spazer on Uncle and rupees on the chest. No, missiles on the chest.
Yep, it's all good. And it looked like MM2 Ness was going to see if the guards were going to drop any bombs. No luck today, though. So we'll see if those bombs show up in another pack.
Yeah, there's the single arrow in Sanctuary. And that Spazer is not a bad pickup at this point. The earlier you find it, the better, the more use you get out of it.
Absolutely. In before Plasma and Kakariko, though, right?
Alright, it looks like we've got a sinking pause going on. Looks like Simo is heading for CAC. Get away for MM2 Nests.
Yep, and Simo showing off a little bit of game knowledge here. Going to go for these 50-50 bushes. 2 of these 4 bushes in sort of the hilt of the sword or the arrow, whatever you want to call it, do have a 50-50 shot of dropping a bomb. So going to try and get a couple of those before heading into Kakariko. Really smart move.
Alrighty, looks like MM2 Nest is about to go see what the Lumberjack ledge is. So we'll see if we need Aga 1. And it's just a red ruby, so the only way we'll need Aga 1 is if we need it for Dark World access.
Absolutely, and something even more interesting about the combo randomizer here, for those who are new in chat, A, welcome, and B, in the combo randomizer, there's a couple of cross-world portals to get you between the 2 games. You already saw the one that was in sort of the Criteria landing site area there, getting us over to that witch hut. Fortune Teller's hut on Link's house. Bach, do you want to cover where those other portals are and how that helps us skirt Aghanim as we see that lamp on the library?
Yeah, there's a portal. There's one of the caves at Death Mountain in the Light World will take you to the Norfair Business Center, which is the room where you come out after taking the elevator down from Brinstar. There's a cave at Dark Ice Rod, which will get you to the back, which will get you to the Meridian Missile refill behind Botwoon. And then the right shed in Misery Mire will take you to Lower Norfair by the Gold Torizo. So I doubt very much our runners are going to pick up that lamp. I expect they are good enough at dark rooms that they're not going to need to come back for it.
Absolutely. If the boots show up early enough and they have a reason to come back to CAC, I can see them grabbing it if it's their first light source. But if that fire rod pops up soon, then I agree with you. That's probably going to be left behind. But we do find a bottle there in the well, which is going to help us check Sick Kid here.
Yeah, and point taken that we might need the lamp as a fire source. Meantime, Simo just found his second pack of power bombs. And the magic number there is 3 packs for a max of 15. Once you have that, if that ice beam doesn't show up, the 15 is enough to take out all the Metroids in Torian without needing to rely on drop luck or backtracking to refill. And hey, there's the third one at Sick Kid, so that was fast.
You speak it into reality there, Bach. We do have that magic number. That's also going to make clearing out Brinstar just a lot cleaner for these runners if they find that Moon Pearl early.
Ooh, there's high jump boots in the back of the wells. MM2 Ness left that because he didn't have a bomb when he went down there. So we'll see if that comes back to bite him, because the high jump boots are so good, you don't think about them until you don't have them.
Absolutely, but MM2 Nest showing off another one of those 50-50 bushes right here in front of the little rat refill hut. So gonna be able to get those bombs. Not gonna miss out on too much. Just a little bit of backtracking through Kakariko, but Simo still clearing out Kakariko himself. So nothing too much missed.
Alrighty, there's 5 items here in Blank's basement. There's a 300 pack of rupees and some missiles. Even more power bombs, wow. Oh my!
Well then, I think we're set on power bombs for a little while. But it looks like we're still adjusting a couple of things on MM2 Ness's side, so please bear with us, but we still do have Simo up on stream here.
Dolmor Goth? No, Solid Snake is not commentating. I'm Big Boct and he's Tiverius. Alrighty, Simo getting that sick kid check in for... Oh my gosh!
Oh, we are just loaded to the gills with power bombs so far, so definitely looking forward to getting that morph ball and seeing these runners just wreck Metroid once they can get in there.
Meantime, Simo buying a bottle of Mountain Dew Code Red as well as some bombs. That'll keep him armed and safe throughout the Sphere Zero checks.
Absolutely. Going to be able to use those bombs to clear out Mini Moldorm Cave if he so wishes to do that with bombs. Otherwise, going to check out a couple other items here. Not sure where Simo's going. He's already checked the woods, so...
If he did, I didn't see that. What was there?
Oh, right. Simo went south to north. That's right. There wasn't a lot here, but that's right. Simo did the south to north route, so just finishing up these checks here.
Well, there's $20. What did you see what we had in the thieves' hideout?
I think the drop down was missiles or another 20. It was something that was nothing to write home about either way.
Bottle vendor is a scammer today. You pay him 100, he gives you back 20.
I like to think of it just as a bottle vendor loyalty card. You know, we buy so many bottles every week in these seeds. Eventually, he's going to give you $20 back.
So I'm seeing MM2 Nest sitting on 330 rupees. If he wants to do the Houlihan Room glitch, that's a free 225 once per save file, and that would get him his Zora money. But we don't have access to Zora yet. Need either the gloves to get there the normal way, or the flippers themselves to get to take one of the whirlpools.
Absolutely. Could set up one of those fake flipper states if he so chose. That still, without the Moon Pearl, would leave a couple of items up in Waterfall Cave, so a bit of a risky check if he wanted to do that, but it could be a sequence break that may or may not pay off.
It's also worth noting that the hard versus normal side of the logic, that only applies to Super Metroid. Link to the Past is, I believe, based on, it's either NMG or glitchless, I'm not sure.
Yep, it's going to go off the NMG logic, so it will allow... No, correct. You're right. It's glitchless. So logically, if there's anything in one of the flipper checks, the game will assume you have the flippers before that. There are a couple of standalone Link to the Past randomizers that use different logics, but SMZ3 is based on the V29 or V30. It's one behind either way from A Link to the Past, and that's by design.
I can confirm it's version 29 that the combo was forked from.
Awesome, thank you. So with that, we are going to get some of those ammo pack upgrades that we've already seen, the +5 bomb capacity, +5 arrow capacity. There are no hints, and something that Total will, his hill to die on, so to speak, is there will not be progressive bows in the combo randomizer. So if you have been watching just Link to the Past, and maybe you see a bow then silvers, they are two separate items here in the combo, but Simo grabbing that glove out of Mini Moldorm. Let's see where he takes that.
As I mentioned, that is our access to Zora, and with the money the seed has given us, it could be pointing there. Meantime, we've now seen 2 energy tanks, one at the Muddy item and one in Mini Moldorm. One more, and that's enough to get us to get us to check a couple of hell runs in Super Metroid.
Absolutely. I think with 3 that puts Ice Beam in logic, and is it 3 or 4 or 5 that puts Bubble Mountain in logic with those high jump boots that they have?
I believe it's 5, and there's our third one. I think if we find Speed Booster, then I think Speed Booster would put Bubble Mountain in logic with just what we have. Because there's a much faster way to get to Bubble Mountain from the business center if you have the Speed Booster. It's called Frog Speedway. Dolmore, I agree. 4 is doable. Yes. Logic is 5. Yes.
Yep, and something you'll probably hear us say multiple times on this stream, sometimes these runners won't care about logic, though. If, like you say in chat, if 4 is doable for them and they feel like it's going to pay off, 4 is definitely going to be where they take those. So, a little divergence here, though, as Simo did check that back of escape going to the front, but MM2 Ness going for Ice Rod Cave. This is, oh no, heading to Ice Rod Cave, but taking that crab, 2 hearts of damage. Ouch.
Yeah, we are still on 3 hearts. We've seen, I think, 2 heart pieces, and that's it. Meanwhile, in chat, the one extreme calling his shot for a vanilla morph ball.
Always a possibility. Definitely 2 items in logic there in Retro Bryn for these runners. The Vanilla Morph and then Energy Tank in the ceiling. So we'll see if either of those have anything.
Meantime, Simo gets a 4th heart piece at the right time to get himself a refill. That was probably nice after doing a suicide grenade. Laser Mike, Ceiling Morph is in logic on hard without high jump via a damage boost. Alrighty, there's the. We saw the small key in the back of the escape. There's the map in the dungeon, and that tells us that Dark Cross is an item.
Yep, 2 left to check here, Dark Cross and Zelda's Cell, with MM2 providing us even more divergence here. Going to check out a couple of quick items here in the back of Sahasrarla's closet, and we'll see if he decides to dip into Eastern Palace or not.
He can also ask Sahasrarla himself where the green pendant is if he so desires.
Absolutely. A lot of times in these randomizers, knowledge is power. So that's one of the little tips you can get from Sahasrarla there. He will, as Big Bach pointed out, tell you where that green pendant is hiding, but MM2 Ness opting not to get that information today. Good pot kill, though, by Simo there to grab just an upgrade.
And meantime, MM2 Ness is heading over to Eastern.
Yep, maximum of 3 items in logic here, depending on the layout. Because we know where that lamp is, there are 2 chests without the bow as well. Armos Knights are out of logic, and if the big key is vanilla today, that leaves 2 chests lamp locked. As we pointed out, though, these runners not really caring about lamp logic, so we'll see how deep MM2 Ness needs to go to get those 3 items, or if one's going to be locked on Armos.
Alrighty, we've seen a couple of missile packs here, and we saw 1 super missile pack at the Sahasrarla's closet. Ideally, before we need to do heated brooms, we'll see 1 more super missile, so that our runners can crystal flash if they need to. The crystal flash functions by rolling up, laying a power bomb, and then holding aim down, aim up, fire, and down on the D-pad. There's the big key. But that crystal flash will consume 10 power bombs, 10 missiles, 10 super missiles, and fully recharge you.
Yep, definitely a technique worth knowing, especially early in your Super Metroid career, but later on as well. If you ever get into a pinch and you have the ammo, it's far faster to crystal flash than it is to die.
It's also far faster than farming enemies, if you don't need the ammo. Yeah, the one extreme, yes, 11 power bombs because of the one you have to lay to initiate it. Thought I made that clear. My bad if I didn't.
Oh, unlucky there. Almost had all 3 items available right away, but MM2 Nest gonna show us, or rather not show us, a couple of dark rooms back here. Pretty easy if you're getting started out. Both just very simple squares with some low-level enemies that don't do too much damage, so if you're wanting to learn dark rooms, these are some good ones to start in.
Also worth noting that we do know where that lamp is, so once we find the Pegasus boots to bonk it off, that puts this in logic.
Absolutely, and that's something these runners will keep in mind. If there's something important behind these dark rooms, they'll know that, okay, logically it was behind those Pegasus boots, but again, are they really going to worry about it? I don't really know, but it's up to them for sure.
Alrighty, here's the vanilla big key room. Damage boost to pick up the pod without destroying all the enemies. And there is our third prize, 20 rupees. So we'll just need to come back here later with the bow to get the crystal. No, it's a pendant. So yeah, we're done. Unless there's something on the pedestal, we are done with Eastward.
Absolutely. Always feels good when it is a pendant like that and you can clear it out and not have to worry about coming back for that item on the boss.
Laser Mike, Gina's cave has not been checked yet. No, neither of them have gotten over there.
Correct. So logically right now we have Agina's Cave, Zora, Vanilla Morph, and the ceiling item.
Okay. Hammer, Glove, and Pearl is Dark World access, right?
Correct. Either 2 gloves in the Pearl or Hammer Glove Pearl gives us that Dark World access. The lesser enjoyable Dark World access, of course, being Pearl, 2 swords, and Lamp to get you up Aghanim's Tower. But I hope we don't have to worry about that today, as Simo and MM just tracing each other's steps here.
Alrighty, well, we've got a little bit of downtime. I think I can ask for us to follow our runners, Simo and MM2 Nest Cartridge, putting on a good show so far. And also on the commentary team would appreciate a follow too. As mentioned, I'm Big Bacht, he's Tiverius, and we have... What was our... We have Warren Traveler on commentary. On tracking.
Yep, Warren Traveler definitely a hero behind the scenes, keeping us on track and keeping you all informed, clicking those buttons. So big thanks to Warren Traveler there.
Simo saves his game in Link to the Past and then hard resets his console or emulator to spawn back at the ship in Super Metroid. Can use that as a shortcut. And we do have 10 super missiles. I didn't catch that.
Yep, I think there was a pack in Kakariko somewhere as well, but you're gonna get these lower retro Bryn checks from Simo, so get your Morph Ped hype in chat if you want to see Vanilla Morph or some kind of progression down here.
Simo going for a moonfall there, which works by walking backward off a ledge with the moonwalk and causes you to fall with uncapped vertical speed. Laser Mike, I would also take Screw Attack Morph. I really like seeing runners navigate without the Morph Ball, because that's another one you take for granted until you don't have it.
Absolutely. A couple of the items that break open Super Metroid for us are Morph Ball, Screw Attack, Speed Booster, but we get a Fire Rod on the Morph Pedestal, so we still get a major item there. Simo forgetting he doesn't have Morph there for half a second.
Unfortunately, that Fire Rod on its own doesn't unlock anything, does it?
No, it does not. Not until we can get to the Dark World. And again, since the logic runs off V29, that doesn't put Dark Rooms in logic. But that hook shot, that's going to help.
Two progressive items in Retro Bring to start. This would have been the perfect seed to check that early.
Oh, absolutely. You would have been feeling great if you had checked that early. But again, we're looking at Hookshot and Fire Rod, which by themselves don't give us anything in Link to the Past yet. If we can get up to the mountain, logically, Then we can use that hook shot. The glove lets us get up there with another dark room, but again, logically, we're left with Zora and Agina's cave.
Right. Yeah. Again, we need the boots to get that. What we need the boots to get that lamp to put the dark rooms in logic.
Yep. Otherwise, we could find the flute that could get us up Death Mountain, or again, either like that screw attack, the speed booster, something to get us through those initial crumble blocks, which could get us all the way to Upper Norfair, which would bring us through that cross-world portal. So we'll see what these next few checks bring us, and that's going to blow the seat open for us.
Yeah, we actually would still need Morphball to get from Big Pink to the Red Tower, and then from there to Norfair.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Forgot about that. Balked down by those charge beam missiles there. You kind of need Morphball to get through there. But Speed Gaming 6, thank you for the raid party. Welcome, welcome. We are in the middle of a hard mode SMZ3 race today.
We've got a few progressive items, as you guys can see, but no actual progress yet. We've cleaned out Eastern and most of the overworld checks in the Light World. Oh yes, we have Dark Cross as well available.
Not logically per the seed, but I think you were about to say with that fire rod, there are some lamps back here where Simo can light up and see where he's going.
However, that is not expected by the version 29 logic, so...
Correct. So Simo may be taking a little gamble here, thinking, I'm going to sequence break. So we'll see where MM goes once he pops back into Link to the Past here.
And I believe that you get in a dark room, you get a quick light cone when you get an item. So we will be able to see what Simo finds in Dark Cross.
Correct. Total did put that into the combo randomizer here just because there are some items that don't show up in the dark. Grabbing that blue mail, though, nice little defense boost for Simo there.
Absolutely. So as you said, again, logically, that is King Zora and Agina's cave, and that's it. We don't have that. Yeah, we do not have logical access to the other 3 items at Zora's domain because we don't have the flippers, and yes, we just flippers would get us the other 3.
Yep, flippers would be able to allow us to check that waterfall, the 2 items in waterfall, and then the 1 item in Zora's domain there. There are some tricky ways to get those items, but as we'll say all the time tonight, none of those are in logic. So MM, though, showing a nice little farm spot. There's 50 rupees in here, so I think we all know where MM's about to go after this.
Yeah, he's definitely got Zora on his mind.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Simo showing off a little more dark room knowledge here, rescuing the old man on Death Mountain, using that hook shot to echolocate a little bit. The tricky part here is if for whatever reason you can't quite find your way and you get lost, once you rescue that old man, your save and quit point is the old man. But gets out of there just fine, and for his efforts, gets the Varia suit.
Alrighty, so that's Varia suit again, logically locked by Lamp, which is logically locked by Pegasus boots.
Yep, but Simo now has a bounty of items at his disposal with that hookshot. Going to be able to check East Death Mountain here after he sees what's on Spectacle. But MM giving us those logical checks, so I like the divergence, just showing us sort of what those sequence breaks can really pay out and give you.
Alrighty, top of Spectacle Rock was a heart piece, and inside Spectacle Rock was 20 rupees. MM2 Nest got another energy tank from Agina's cave. So that's it. Zora is the logical play.
Yep. So that could mean he's going to give us those Pegasus boots, which will give us the lamp, get us that Varia suit up to Death Mountain, bevy of items. That could very well be our logical progression. Could be morph, could be a plethora of items here. So very interesting. Gonna enjoy seeing what the Scamfish has for us today.
Oh, that's right. MM2 Nest never got to Ice Rod Cave. That's where he's going now. We have that too.
Yep, definitely going to combo them together. Grab both of these items. So, good play in MM2 Ness's mind here as just a pair of missiles here in lower paradox, or upper paradox rather, depending how you look at it. But SMZ3 realizing don't have any bombs, so going to be interesting. Going to have to go up and hope to either farm bombs or get a drop somewhere.
Alrighty, Ice Rod Cave, what you got for us? Blueberry, so yeah. Okay, so that's it. Zora is the play.
Yep, grab those bombs that SMZ3 wanted, but SMZ3 just absolutely showing off the 50-50 bomb locations today, so take notes if you need to know where those bombs are, because SMZ3 putting on a clinic of where to find those 50-50 drops.
What did SMZ need the bomb for? Was it just to trigger the two-state blocks?
Yep, hit this crystal switch, so gotta be able to throw something over there, either a boomerang, sword beams, or a bomb.
Crystal switch, right.
Yep, has the hook shot to deal with these mini Moldorms, though, so just a bit of love. Refills the bombs, I'm sure he's happy to see those. And a bomb drop from the Moldorm, too. Even more life, and bombs, so not much here on East Death Mountain.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest, Fig Flippering to the Hobo. What's he got for us? More energy. And I believe that's 5 tanks between both runners, so that is our logical access to Bubble Mountain. Actually, wait, no, never mind. We did find that Varia suit on Gary.
Yep, so it still could be, like you're saying, quote-unquote logical access, depending on what Zora has, because that Varia suit is Lamp/Pegasus boot locked.
Right.
Always fun to try and keep track of what the game wants you to do versus I'm just going to do it my way because I don't want to be here for 5 hours.
No, we do not have sequence break access to the Waterfall of Wishing, right?
Correct. For whatever reason, if you go into the waterfall in a fake flipper state and you have the Moon Pearl, when you swim back out, the game thinks you have the Moon Pearl. For some reason, now you must have the flippers. So then it lets you walk on the water instead of swim. It's very strange, but an interesting little glitch there nonetheless. And yeah, the Moon Pearl is what gates that.
Gotcha. And meantime, Zora's Ledge was just blueberries. SMZ3 heading through Resident Sleeper Cave because no Pegasus boots.
Alright, so the big logical reveal from Zora, leaving MM with 2 rupees, is that... Oh, and we find Speed Booster at the same time! Both runners getting access to the Super Metroid.
Yeah, alrighty. That will get both of them as far as Big Pink and Brinstar.
Very, very interesting.
Also, we're noting MM2 Nest does have access to the Criterion Gauntlet up toward the top of this room. The wall jumps to get up here are expected by the hard logic.
Correct. Expected, never fun to do, but MM definitely giving it a shot here.
Very carefully cleaning the blocks out so that he doesn't land in a crouching state and softlock himself. Okay, MM2 Nest doesn't have a suit, so that acid's going to do 80 damage a second. But with 600 energy, just has to take it slow and be careful.
Absolutely. Screw attack definitely going to help eat through these blocks, so no worries there. Being extra careful, killing those yapping maws, really smart. And here's that Frog Speedway you were mentioning earlier, Bach. Love to see it. So SMZ3 taking that quick route here over to Bubble Mountain.
Oh no, he's going to Crocomire.
Ooh, early croc play. I like it, and I'm sure chat likes it too.
Now what he's doing here is trying to abuse the way projectiles spawn so that he spawns it on the other side of that gate and opens it from the wrong side. That's another trick that can be expected by the hard logic.
Yeah, really nice green gate glitch there. Quick little moonfall down that room too. Love to see it.
Right.
And a whole lot of nothing was in Gauntlet there. So really good wall jumps there from MM2 Ness, but not required today.
Meantime, Simo's into the Crocomire fight. Crocomire doesn't take damage the way normal bosses do. Each shot into his mouth backs him up a little bit, and then the goal is to back him up into the level. Just a missile pack at Terminator. MM2 Ness backtracking up, probably going to check the old Mother Brain room. Alrighty, Simo has defeated Crocomire. The Crocomire E-Tank is just a heart piece. Ooh, there is our Moon Pearl at old Mother Brain.
Yep, so MM2 Ness definitely showing off the logical chain here can sometimes really pay off, but it still remains to be seen if anything's going to be down here behind Croc that could absolutely show the benefits of the sequence break too. So definitely interesting. I think we're going to have some good divergence here because with his loadout, I don't see Simo going back to old Mother Brain for quite a while.
I think at this point there has to be something in Big Pink because that's our next logical. That's the next items we have logical access to. Traveler, that was Moon Pearl, not Morph Ball. Thank you. Gonna open up the door to Torian early just for the sake of getting it out of the way.
Yep, it saves a missile later if you don't want to stop at the ship and are thinking you're just loaded out enough to take on Mother Brain. So, not a bad quick little shot there.
I didn't see what Simo found at the post-Croc power bombs.
I do believe that was a pack of supers. Polar Bear Bunny speed booster was in Spiral Cave up on the mountain, which Simo sequence broke and MM did not. Meanwhile, Screw Attack was on King Zora, which is logical, but Simo decided he wasn't interested in going to see the big fish.
Simo going for a very tight short charge here. Oh, has to do it like this because he doesn't have the Morph Ball belay power bombs to clean the detritus out. There's our X-ray scope at Big Pink. Red Rupee at Indiana Jones. There is our second lift upgrade at pre-charged power bombs. That's our Dark World access.
Yep, which is it is going to make Simo have to visit that scamfish a lot sooner than not, just because, like we were saying, that's where that logic chain takes him. That's how he's going to get that Morph Ball down at old Mother Brain, and that's going to get that Titan's Mitt. Now, he still could get the Titan's Mitt with the speed booster and then just have to get the Moon Pearl from old Mother Brain, but we'll see what route Simo decides to take here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's another very short charge through a door you have to do to get to that Moon Pearl with just the speed booster. Real quick, for anyone who might not know, the short charge is done by tapping the run button around a specific frame of the running animation. I believe it's the front foot at full extension. That keyframe is the only time the game increments the variable to see if you have speed echoes, but the variable that controls your speed increases constantly as the run button is held. So by tapping it around the keyframe, you get speed echoes in a much shorter runway. That was what Simo did in down heading for the grapple beam item. Alrighty, MM2 Ness is back into Zelda. Ooh, Simo is gonna push on to Bubble Mountain. There's one item in this room, the Cathedral. I don't know if you can actually get it without the Morph Ball, but it can definitely be checked. But it's just a rupee. I think that was blue.
Yep, just a little bit of money, so not gonna miss out on anything there. But yeah, Simo definitely doubling down on this series of sequence breaks. Goodness me, sorry about that. And MM deciding, well, it's Dark World time, but looks like they're gonna sequence break the mountain too, and be very happily pleased with that Varia suit they're about to find.
Absolutely.
And not only that, with those Titan's Mitts and Moon Pearl and Hookshot, MM's going to be able to check both the Light and Dark World sides of Death Mountain, so really doubling down on the sequence break, getting a lot more bang for his buck.
Indeed. Meantime, Simo is over to Bubble Mountain. He's going for a wall jump to get off to the other side. He gets it. There are, I believe, three items in this general area of logic. Two on this route to the speed booster, and then the pre-wave beam item the pre-wave beam item. I don't think actually the wave beam itself might be in logic too, because you could gate glitch back out of there. I think that's how that works, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember the layout of the room. But nothing doing for here. And Simo will have to contend with the rising lava because he does have that speed booster.
Yeah, has the speed booster, but just like in the vanilla game, as long as you hold forward, you're in no danger there. So gets out of there pretty easily and continues on in the Bubble Mountain checks.
Alrighty, I should be able to evaluate this based on what I see. There's another bottle. Yeah, I think he can't gate glitch back out of here.
Yep, can, but still a tricky gate glitch, and but gets rewarded with the sword as long as he can get out of there.
That is our first sword. That is our first non-consumable weapon. Yep, there we go. Does that not just have to glitch through the gate? Well done.
Absolutely. Only a couple of missiles. Definitely worth those missiles to get that sword. But Simo's still got to be thinking where the heck logical progression is, because he's doing these sequence breaks, and well, he's getting nice items for it, i.e., the speed booster here and that sword. Of course, MM about to get that speed booster as well. None of that's really getting him anything. So Simo's mind has to be churning, thinking, okay, what did I miss in A Link to the Past that's going to get me this progression? And of course, we know that's going to be Zora.
Alrighty, what are we looking for to break the seed open at this point?
Let's see. MM with the current loadout can do Skull Woods and a bit of Village of Outcasts, but that doesn't really break anything open. I'd say Flute right now really helps because that gets us to the Mire area as well as Lower Norfair. Hammer, of course, gonna need that. Would be really nice to have, but I think Flute right now in Link to the Past would give us the most rapid fire checks. What are you thinking, or hoping for, Bach?
Not sure at this point. Space jump to give us a can fly in Super Metroid would definitely be helpful, but it wouldn't be progression. Let me think. Honestly, I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Yeah, we really need that morph ball for starters. So definitely that morph ball would open the seed wide up. That gives us the rest of Brain Star. That gives us the rest of criteria. We can get up to those last few checks. It gets us wrecked ship. It gets us the rest of Norfair upper anyway, so morph ball's definitely going to crack it wide open. I still stand by my hope for the Flute. Mirror would be nice, although it's only a couple of checks, so I think the biggest bang for our buck right now is morph ball, followed by Flute. So we'll see what pops up, or if those become trolly.
What else do we have here in Dark Death Mountain that MM2 Nest can check? Oh, yeah, a hookshot cave is open.
Yep, MM can check the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock here, and then grab these 4 items at Turtle Rock as we get green pendant in ice and our 5-6 crystal up at Turtle Rock. I believe we're missing 1 more pendant. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I did not see the red pendant either. I also did not see what the Turtle Rock medallion was just now.
Yep, same. I was too busy pontificating, but hopefully chat can help us out there with that Turtle Rock medallion.
Thank you, chat. It is Bombos. Nothing doing in Hookshot Cave.
And in chat also pointing out they're thinking they saw the red pendant over there at Thieves Town, so thank you for that as well, chat.
Meantime, Simo somehow managed to get under the... Oh, that's right. He has that speed booster, so the reserve tank was in logic as well as the early supers, but nothing was doing it either of them.
Absolutely. Always feels kind of rough when you're like, I can do all these sequence breaks, and you pull them off, and then it's just missiles, bombs, just ammo capacity. So definitely it feels bad for Simo, but MM gonna give us a look here at the Village of Outcasts area, and maybe even decide to dip into Skull Woods. We'll see. But Simo grabbing his mitts, so just needs that Moon Pearl under Mother Brain, but we know that's going to require Screw Attack on the Scamfish.
It is possible to get it with a short charge, but it's a very difficult short charge to do.
That's right. But we did see Simo do that, what was it, a 3 stutter tap short charge to get a couple of those items earlier, so might just be something he's willing to try.
I believe the old Mother Brain move is a stutter 2-tap through a door, so that's really hard.
Oof, yeah. We'll see if Simo wants to give that a shot or not.
MM2 Nest going through those Village of Outcast checks, being real careful here, because still on. I don't think MM2 found that blue mail, so.
Correct. That was in Dark Cross, if memory serves. So that's something only Simo has. But there you go. Dark World enemies gonna pack a punch, gonna open up Thieves Town here and take a trip in.
Got 4 chests in the front here. I believe it's how many prices in here?
So Thieves Town is 4 and 4. So Ice Beam there. So there's a small key, the big key, the map, the compass, and then 4 items available in Thieves Town outside of those. However, the big chest is locked by the hammer, so we're either hoping to not see that small key or find the hammer before.
Laser Mike, how do we have Red Tower in logic at this point? Like, I'm trying to process, but I can't. It's not coming to me. Oh, you thought by a Death Mountain. Okay.
It's quite all right. There's a lot to keep track of. And so I know I speak for especially myself, maybe not so much Big Bach, but I definitely appreciate, obviously the interaction with chat here, keeping us honest. We're trying to do our best to keep an eye on everything and provide the knowledge and commentary as we can. But MM2 Nest deciding he saw the front 4, and that was enough from Pendant Thieves Town. Going to take that Ice Beam as the prize and get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have Chad and our tracker to back us up. Well, actually, I was gonna say we have access to the Smith and we have access to the hammer pegs. We can't actually do hammer pegs, but We can get to the Smith and we can get to the lunchbox, right? The combo randomizer chain thing so that they will stay with you on a reset.
That is correct. So both the Smith and the lunchbox stick with you on reset, so you don't need the mirror to check those. But MM2 Ness gonna farm up a couple of rupees here, just a couple short. Looks like he wants to play the arrow game to get a little bit of money.
I have literally never seen a runner do this.
Arrow game is really popular in the Link to the Past, inverted mode where you start in the Dark World, and it's a really easy way to just farm up some money. Laser Mike, pod money in the digging game just to the west of us there.
Pod money is 110, right? 10 to keep Kiki following you, and then another 100 to get him to open it.
Correct.
And then how much is the dig game?
I always get dig game and chess game backwards. One is 30 and the other one's 80. And I think dig game is the 80, but I could be wrong there.
Pretty sure dig game is, I think dig game is 30.
Like I said, I get them backwards, but either way, MM2 showing off. If you just hold against the drummer guy here, and as soon as those little squids, as soon as the left side of them touches that little break between the second and third curtains there, if you fire your arrow, you're going to hit it every time. So really easy way to farm up some extra rupees here.
Getting very handily done.
Yep, so now has enough money for both dig game and pod, should that be where he decides to go. But Simo checking out that Agina Cave is a bust, so now knows that the last logical check is going to be that scam fish. Gonna need to farm up those rupees. Probably gonna take this 50 cave and then maybe do that hula hand trick that Bach was talking about.
13 digs for a bottle. That's not too bad. It's not progression, but it'll help.
Yep, bottles, much like Spazer, the earlier you find them, the more use that they have for you.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest collecting the Smith.
Yep, looks like while they're in the Dark World, though, just going to check Stumpy, probably going to check out the cave formerly known as Hype Cave here, just to the east, then probably going to give us that saving quid.
And that is the silver arrows on Stumpy. Very nice.
Very handy. Still need that bow to fire him, because like we were talking about, no progressive bows yet. But Simo setting up that hula-hand trick here for us. Gonna drop into this room, so named Chris Houlihan from an old, if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo Power named Chris Houlihan room for either a competition or as a homage. But
it was the competition when.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, a free 225 rupees here as a debug room because the game thinks I don't know where to put you, so we're going to put you in this safety room.
Exactly. Hey, there's our flippers. And there is our Morph Ball at Hype Cave.
There we go. Now the game's open.
And yeah, I've said this before and I will say it again. Super Metroid Glitchless Low Percent is only 15 items, and 9 of those are ammo or health. You have the Morph Ball, Bombs, Varia, and Gravity, 3 Super Missiles, 3 missiles, 2 Super Missiles, 1 Power Bomb, 3 Energy Tanks. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but chat pointing out Hype Cave, once again, pretty hype. But Simo taking the wrong portal there, ending up not quite where he wanted to be. That's just west of the sanctuary there, but swimming into the right portal now, so gonna be able to get that screw attack and piece the rest of the seed together.
Alrighty, are we missing anything to get to Hype Cave, or is that in logic?
With the Mitts and the Moon Pearl, that is in logic. Just taking that path that MM2 Nest did, just go south of the village and loop around.
Got it.
Not the fastest way to get there, but obviously important to get there and get that moon, or the morph ball, excuse me. So MM2 Ness now probably going to stick into Super Metroid for a little while.
Now I'm going to step away for a little bit. I'll be back in a sec.
No worries, Bach. We'll see you in a few. But looks like MM2 is going to get a little revenge on the gauntlet here. We know the front gauntlet doesn't have anything, but going to be able to check those last two items here, see if that's anything for MM2, as there's our screw attack. And I know we don't have Simo mic'd up, but I'm going to guess there was probably an annoyed sigh there when that item popped out of Zora. Yep, and takes the quick restart to get back to Super Metroid. Probably knows right where he needs to go, having checked a lot of the stuff with Speed Booster already. Alright, so back of Gauntlet, what do we have? Looks like there's our Quake medallion, so remains to be seen if it's required. And Simo showing off a really nice short charge there, getting into Gauntlet the other way. And Simo, realizing the disappointment there, decides to just reset back to the ship. Don't really blame him. MM2 now, having that morph ball, going to be able to check a couple of these items that Simo wasn't able to check. If you're a fan of Simo, you're going to hope for just, missiles or something that's not really important back here, just so he's not really missing out. But we will see.
Alrighty, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
We had Quake in the back of Gauntlet there on MM's side. Other than that, Simo about to go get his Moon Pearl, so slowly piecing together that Hype Cave is where he needs to go.
Got it. Yeah, that morph ball opened up the vast majority of Super Metroid all on its own. Like I was saying earlier, with what you need for glitchless low percent. Beautiful roll. Hey, there's our ice rod, and thank God we don't have to hunt for that, because that is Turtle Rock is a crystal.
Yep, and that is one of the items that can appear darn near anywhere in the world outside of Ganon's castle itself.
If memory serves, the only thing that ice rod does for you is let you beat Trinex's Firehead, correct?
Correct.
So literally the only place it can't be is on Trinex himself.
That is correct. Or behind any progression that might be on Trinex if that's where the game wanted you to go, but yes.
Looks like MM2 Dash forgetting that he has that screw attack.
Just wanted to work on some short charges. So.
That is also possible. Dropping a power bomb, or yeah. The item in this next room for MM2 Ness is called Mission Impossible. Let's see what we got here.
And with high jump, could pull off the Mission Impossible here. We'll see. Nope, not quite. Simo popping into the shop on Dark Death Mountain. Fun little mnemonic device, or not really mnemonic device, but an easy way to remember which cave to go into on Light World versus Dark World. Dark World, light is right. So in the light world, go in the right cave. Dark world, go in the left cave.
Meantime, MM2 Nest cartridge doing another sequence break. Position himself so that he could break a super missile block from the wrong side. The way he positioned himself and the way the projectile accelerated, it broke a block off screen before it could despawn. Normally, you would fight Spore Spawn to get to that item that MM2 Nest just got. Alrighty. Gonna go for a super missile acceleration clip here to open a gate from the wrong side. Another trick that the hard logic can expect. Second try, very nice.
Yep, those high jump boots making that infinitely easier.
Alright, so that's 25 missiles, 25 supers and 80 missiles. That is actually enough ammo to fight Ridley, because Ridley takes double damage from super missiles, for a total of 600. Most enemies take 300 from those. Charge Beam Chozo is a blue rupee, and they're down here at Waterway. This is one of only 2 checks that are hard locked by the speed booster, so being able to get this out of the way is very nice. There's a very easy short charge that you can do, very easy quick charge you can do here. Yeah, MM2 Nest did that the hard way, but it is actually easy enough to do that the normal logic can expect you to do this.
Yep, I believe this platform is just long enough to get off a charge.
Or an energy tank, and that is 7. If we have Charge Beam and Plasma Beam show up, that'll be enough to do the stand-up glitch versus Mother Brain, which lets you start fighting her third phase earlier. Yeah, Charge Beam to do damage to Mother Brain with shots, and then Plasma Beam to make it worth the time to do it. Alrighty. MM2 Nest probably gonna head for the power bomb connection to Retro Brain here, or maybe there's 10 arrows at Green Hill Zone. Yeah, MM2 Nest is gonna head for Retro Brain to get the power bomb pack, alpha missiles, beta missiles, and Billy Mays.
Yeah, giving us a couple of new checks as well here. Simo checking out Skullwoods does have that fire rod, so can beat it if he so chooses.
Oh, there's our hammer!
So now MM full Dark World access, easy access to the portals, can definitely zip through a lot more of the game now with that hammer.
As far as specific checks, that unlocks hammer pegs, right?
Right now, yes, that logically unlocks our hammer pegs. That unlocks... nope, we don't have the mirror, so we can't get into Swamp. It does unlock a couple of checks in Ice Palace, which is a pendant, but because we have those mitts and flippers and now hammer, is full clearable.
Beta missiles was vanilla, but it's all that we're noting that Ice Palace is the green pendant, so there might be something on that too.
Very, very true. So that does add a little bit of value here. I know a couple of runners, especially with the new meta, like to hold off at least until they get that Cane of Samaria, just to get that extra little check in there. And yes, Extreme, thank you pointing out in chat, it does unlock, or it does open up that Thieves Town big chest as well.
Meantime, MM2 Nest turning off the high jump boots, I believe, to make it a little easier to get the distance he needs on this jump to get to the invisible floor. There we go. And this next room is called Billy Mays because you see there's our second sword. But wait, there's more. Nope tank. Oof. Completely useless at this point. Ready, so that's Master Sword in logic as far as that's Master Sword in logic so far.
Yep, so logically speaking, the last swords could be, anywhere else in the world because you do only need Master Sword to beat Ganon. It's not a fun fight, but it's possible. Indeed,
without if you only have Master Sword, you have to do spins to do damage to Ganon, and obviously that's very time consuming.
Yep. If you don't have the silver arrows throughout the entire fight, it's a whopping 52 spin attacks with Master Sword.
Okay, yeah, so that's 12 for phase 1, 12 for phase 2. Then phase 3 is always 4 hits no matter what you use. And then, so another 24 for phase 4.
Absolutely. And then that one, you got to make sure to keep those torches lit. So if you don't get torch glitch, it makes it even tighter to try and do.
Shaft Supers is just a regular missile pack today, so nothing doing there. I don't know why I'm getting this feeling, but I think we're gonna have something to check tool.
Well, now that's just evil, Bakht. What we do have, though, is a little divergence here as Simo's deciding to go deeper into Thieves, whereas MM decided to duck out after these front 4.
Ooh, half magic out of Mega Missiles. That's really nice.
Absolutely. Like we were just talking about, that makes it to where not getting that torch glitch isn't as detrimental if you end up Master Sword Silverless Ganon. But again, with MM2NES having silver arrows already, and Palace of Darkness being a crystal, we are going to get that bow before having to fight Ganon.
Alrighty, real quick, Tiberius, something I'm curious about. I know that there's no layout that can make the hammer not required, same for bow. What else is there that's always needed? Anything?
Titan's Mitts.
Okay, so bow, hammer, mitts. Anything else?
If you're just playing a regular seed where 7 crystals are required, I do believe those are the only ones that are required every single seed, no matter what. There are a couple of items that obviously make the seed nicer, but Master Sword or higher, hammer, Titan's Mitts, the Moon Pearl, we'll say that one too.
Gotcha.
So MM2 taking a save here. If I were a betting man, I'd say probably after checking these criteria power bombs, might be heading to wreck ship.
That's my thought too, and that's a good play at this point.
Absolutely. You got the speed booster, so you're not going to worry about leaving a couple of those items behind. Yeah, missiles in the sky can be tedious, but again, you have that speed booster to check, so not worried about leaving anything behind here.
Yeah, you can Shine Spark up to that item if you need to.
Simo got to be a little careful here. Everything hits like a truck. Luckily, in the next room, there are a couple of hearts under pots, so not too completely out of luck. And using that red potion, really smart there.
Alright, it looks like MM2NES has got a setup to try to Shine Spark across the... Oh no, he's just going to go across the moat. And grab a bomb capacity upgrade on his way. Alrighty, there are 3 items in this specific room. We have access to the bottom of the ocean here. Then once we come out the top of the wrecked ship, we'll have access to the morph maze in the middle, and then the missiles in the sky you were talking about earlier.
Yep, and something to note on Simo's side, we never found that small key, so gonna get bailed out by not having the hammer here, so we know that small key is locking itself in that big chest.
Alrighty, MM2NES Shine Sparking across the ocean to get to the wrecked ship more easily. Manages to keep the blind fight scripted just by hitting him. Ooh, blue boomerang. I guess it's something. MM2NES cartridge heading for... I call this the Super Metroid Harmless Hallway. The proper name is Spooky Item.
But I know exactly what you mean. If you're noticing, chat, MM2NES jumping on those spikes but not taking damage because in their infinite wisdom, when programming the game, the developers thought, well, if the ship's not turned on, how are the spikes on?
And Simo finding even more power bombs at the chest game. Alrighty, Fantoon here has 2,500 health, and he is an RNG nightmare. He can move for a long, medium, or short time before opening his eye to become vulnerable, and he can leave it open for a long, medium, or short time too. Alrighty, getting Dick Hall, rating with a party of 11. Thanks for coming in on this Super Metroid Zelda 3 randomizer race.
Yep. Quick tail of the tape so far as we just passed the hour mark here and are about to get our first required boss kill because obviously Blind was a pendant. King Zora had our screw attack, which did lock the the Moon Pearl, as well as our second glove, which did allow us to get the Morph Ball in Hype Cave. So that's sort of where our runners are right now. Simo going to be coming up on that Hype Cave check here soon, as MM2 Ness gets a nice Doppler off and a nice pattern from Fantoon at the end there too. Good kill by MM2 Ness.
The Doppler strat functions by moving toward Fantoon as you fire your missiles, basically hitting him more frequently than you would otherwise be able to stun lock his eye open. But yes, the right ship is now powered up, so it is now dangerous. Now there are a number of items here. Let me run through it real quick. There's two right up here. There's the energy tank item off to the east. Missiles, and then there's two more in the wreck ship proper. Three. The reserve item, the destructible Chozo, and the gravity suit.
Yep. Simo taking that long trip over to Hype Cave, going to be pleasantly surprised with Hype Cave today. Definitely hype. And MM just grabbing that other boomerang for us. So checking out a little bit more of that wreck ship. And there's our boots, which, as we know, puts that lamp into logic that's sitting on the library ledge.
And that gives us our logical access to Death Mountain. MM2 Ness going to make a convenient save here so that he can check the wreck ship energy tank item, and if it's nothing, he can reset back here and save the backtrack time, as well as the energy.
Yep, always smart to take a quick little safety save there, especially if you don't have gravity suit to make these rooms just a little bit safer to traverse.
Meantime, Simo has reset to the ship. I see Simo has a max of 40 missiles and 40 supers and 60 regulars. That is actually exactly enough to fight Mother Brain Phase 2. We need probably another 4 packs of missiles or 2 packs of supers to also fight Phase 1. And wreck ship energy tank is vanilla, and MM2 Ness is not gonna bother with it.
Yep, deciding already has enough energy to feel comfortable taking on the game, as well as saving that time like you were talking about, Bacht, just getting back to this save room.
Alrighty, Simo going to go through Gauntlet the hard way. You said Quake was in the back, I believe?
Yes, Quake is on the left side here in the back.
Already, MM2 Ness up into the attic. These doors are locked, and all the enemies in this room must be killed to unlock them. So starting from the right, then swerving back to the left to finish everything, and gonna open the door there so that it stays open next time he enters this room.
Yeah, speed booster, screw attack, and a whole outfit of missiles really making that room trivial for MM2.
Using missiles there to nudge the work robot faster than the beam can, because the beam doesn't fire as fast as missiles. I believe missiles can be fired every 10 frames. Just a red rupee, though. Kay goes through the work robot a couple times. Alrighty, so we've got the two items in the Criteria connection, and then the 3 more after the Bully Chozo, and that'll be it for Wreck Ship.
Dr. RM in chat So MM2 Nest decided for the first 40 minutes or so to really stick to the logic, whereas SEMO tried to do some sequence breaks, and then it just turned out in this seed sticking to the logic is what paid out more than the sequence breaks. So still has done a lot of checks that MM2 has then done later or needed to redo or will need to redo later. But yeah, the Zora progression really gated SEMO on this seed.
And in the meantime, we found the flute at the top of the sky.
Love it. That gets us, if I'm not mistaken now, we have logical access to full clear, or not full clear, but finish off the rest of Super Metroid. All 4 bosses, the GT bosses, and then get us down into Turian with that portal in the Mire area getting us to Lower Norfair.
I believe so. I think we'll need to fight Goltorizo so that we can use his room to charge our Shine Spark to get up to the top of the Screw Attack Chozo room. But otherwise, yes.
Yep, doing that short charge in Golden Torizo room works. I think there's a wall jump similar to Worst Room in the game that with Screw Attack they could do to get up there, but with Speed Booster that's definitely the easier option to take.
There is our magic powder at the Destructible Chozo. That puts the magic bat in logic, and since we've got that hammer. Alrighty, Wreck Ship Reserve, what's here? More super missiles, that's always welcome. And there's the magic number for Ridley, 30.
Yep. So sitting here at about an hour 15, looking at SEMO's loadout and what we still need. Charge Beam would be nice, though not necessary. We are going to need that mirror to get into Swamp, and we are going to need Cane of Samaria. Because this is hard mode, and I believe Dragon is in logic without the suit, or is it just the front half of Meridia Big Bogged? I know you're better at the Metroid logic than I am.
I think it's just the front half of Meridia, but I also think if we find Grapple Beam, that'll let us back Dragon in logic through that cross game portal.
Okay, awesome, thank you. But really not much left that we need to wrap this seed up, which is always great to say and see at an hour 12.
Yeah, execution has been on point for both of our restream runners today. I'm very impressed. Yeah, and as you said earlier, we've also had a lot of route divergence, and those are my favorite kinds to see. I want to see open-ended seeds as opposed to there's a route through it who can do it fastest.
Absolutely, and to your point before, that really further shows off the execution that these runners have. I mean, you and I can sit in this booth and talk about these tricks all day, but seeing these runners pull them off almost faster than we can describe them really shows how much dedication they've put into this game and developing their skills at becoming competent and good runners of this game.
Well, these 2 games, really, when you think about it.
Very true.
Alrighty, nothing doing at alpha or beta power bombs here. So, okay, and we don't have a can fly, so we don't have can fly, we don't have grapple. I don't think the X-ray scope room is in logic. Yeah, Dr. RM, the skill cap on both games is very high. Alrighty, I believe this room MM2 is coming to. I believe this is the Super Metroid Hellway. Triple Factorial saying the skill floor is also very, very high for Super Metroid, which I think I get what you mean by that. That you need a good amount of skill to just to play it. Is that what you're saying? Okay, MM2 Nets is gonna dare the X-ray trip. Although he's got a good amount of ammo. If he takes too much damage and he can get to a safe spot, he can Crystal Flash. And not to mention, with that various suit, the spikes are only doing 15 damage, so that's not bad. Well done. Alrighty, X-ray scope item is just 10 arrows. Meantime, Simo is retracing the steps that MM2 Ness took earlier, so we're gonna MM2 Ness giving us new checks at this point. Yeah, talking about execution, watching a well-executed Super Metroid run is just so much fun. Link to the Past 2, although honestly the Zelda games have never really captured my attention the way they've captured most of the rest of the gaming world. I believe Simo checked the spacer item earlier. Do you remember what it was? No, he didn't, because that is Space Jump. And that is our logical action to that item I mentioned, Showcase Showdown. Alrighty, so MM2 Ness heading through this connecting area and can probably gonna head over to the right here. Yep, and get Kraid done now. There are 3 items here. One behind some power bar blocks in this room, the various suit item behind Kraid himself, and the oh yeah, that's perfectly timed for MM2 Ness.
Yep, thought about leaving it behind, then probably looked at his energy count and thought, you know what, we'll take it.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was one item. There's one more behind Kraid, and then one more behind a metal door that unlocks after you beat Kraid. Mama Turtle possibly in logic. Ooh, you may be right, Dr. RM. Ooh, Kraid closes his mouth quickly and trolls MM2 into buying the big Kraid DLC.
Yep, I always say I paid for the full game, so I'm going to play the full game just because I can't get the quick kill.
I've done it before, like years ago, messing around with Super Metroid and ZSNES, but it's been a while since I actually played.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing behind Kraid there, though. So, but still a required boss needs to go down. So, we're 2 required bosses to none so far. As Simo grabbing that really nice half magic safety there.
MM2 Ness on his way out of Kraid. Here's that metal door I was talking about that unlocked by killing Kraid. Some B-toms in here, also known as frogs, and just missiles in the ceiling. Normally that would be in vanilla, that's an energy tank. Simo heading for the bomb Torizo. I believe we saw MM2 Ness check this, but I don't remember. And it's just blueberries. And we'll not have to fight the bomb Torizo because the trigger for that fight is actually having the Morphle bombs in your inventory.
I mean, if we think about it, it was still Bomb Torizo there.
Oof.
I'll see myself out.
Simo going for the Alcatraz escape here, which is another trick that the hard logic can expect. Obviously didn't actually need to do it this time, but...
Yeah, still good to get that practice in.
Alrighty, high jump room is aero capacity upgrade.
And a little bit of love shown to the X-ray scope there.
It's a full heart out of the top, and heading back through. I love the way Super Metroid kind of guides you on how the game works. Like when you enter that room for the first time with the energy tank over to the left, you see an enemy below you, which is your hint that there's more of the room than you can see.
Yep, always those fun little subtle hints that the game throws your way.
Yeah, Super Metroid is a masterpiece. There's no question about that. And like I said, though, I don't generally play Zelda games, but I absolutely respect them for how much other people enjoy them. You know. Alrighty, MM2 Nelson, yeah, gonna go check Crumble Tower, and can take the vanilla route to Crocomire if he likes. There was something at Croc, wasn't there? I don't remember.
I'm desperately trying to remember. That was one of those things that Simo checked super early, hoping to get paid off on those sequence breaks. I know there was some rupees, some ammo. I don't think there was anything major, though.
Laser Mike, Flume is at the top of the sky in Wreck Ship.
Yep, so Simo going to be getting that soon here.
Also, we're noting that MM2NES has not gotten back to Link to the Past to actually turn the flute on.
Very true, but still plenty of Super Metroid to do, so that may be what's on the mind there, in just saying, well, heck, if I don't have to transition between games, I won't.
Right. Simo into his Phantoon fight at this time. I'm sorry, Simo into their fight at this time. I just double checked that. I feel bad now. MM2 gets a spike suit by initiating the Shine Spark at the same time as unmorphing and recoiling back from damage. So MM2 has a free Shine Spark now, probably going to use that to just go across here. Maybe not.
Yep, really nice Doppler kill there by Simo, getting rid of the ghost.
Yeah. Also, we're noting that Phantoon also takes double damage from super missiles, but if a super missile hits him and it doesn't kill him, he'll go into an enraged state and send out waves of flames from the top of the screen and waste like 40 seconds. And there's our other male upgrade at Sine Wave, I believe. Yes, because the first one was at Dark Cross.
There we go. But that's something that Simo couldn't check when they were down in Croc, lacking that morph ball. So now both runners sitting on blue mail.
MM2 doing a long jump over to check the grapple item. Nothing doing there. We've seen this from Simo already. So
correct. And calling it out in chat, yes, the boots and the flute are in Wreck Ship. So definitely a stack ship for Link to the Past items, plus that required boss kill.
farming up on the bugs a little bit.
getting that ammo back, I don't know. I have to think MM2 may be thinking about Ridley at this point, knowing that he has that flute, mitts, he can get to Lower Norfair. And yeah, chat calling it out too. That might be what's on MM's mind right now, is that Lower Norfair run.
We will indeed see. Yep, MM2 is definitely heading for Lower Norfair. There's nowhere else he could be heading.
Yep, and Simo accidentally falling down into that water. That never feels good.
Indeed, it does not.
I didn't see. Did you notice if Simo took off their high jump boots for this room? It doesn't look like they did if they're jumping that high in the water, so that might be playing a factor into hitting the ceiling there.
Very possible. MM2's turning off the speed booster because the speed booster doesn't play nice with the lava here. I think these wall jumps are considered by the hard logic, but I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, MM2 makes it look like absolutely nothing.
Looks like that's the vanilla intended way by MM2's execution there. Well done on that lava dive.
Alrighty. So MM2 is gonna take the elevator to Lower Norfair, re-equip the speed booster, and probably gonna head off to the left to the Picky Chozo, which because he has space up will let him through to Showcase Showdown.
Yep, might even opt to pop into the mire area and give us that first look, even though, MM has the flute, as you pointed out, haven't activated it yet, so could be our first look at mire area, depending on how MM is feeling here in just a few minutes.
Now, like I said, I call this guy the Picky Chozo. He doesn't let you through without space jump, and that's because of a logic hack to the original Super Metroid. My understanding, the reason I've never found, I don't know if there was ever a reason given, but I think it's because there's no sprite for having screw attack without also having space jump. So if you don't have space jump, the game won't let you get screw attack.
Yep, definitely something they don't want you to get, but again, one of those gate glitches you can sneak on in.
Meantime, Showcase Showdown was just 50 rupees, and the Gold Torizo item was just arrows. So MM2 instead of fighting Gold Torizo, is going to reset back to his save at the top of the Lower Norfair elevator. Simo sees that their flute is up there. Gonna go for it. There we go.
Yep, nice little shine spark gonna pop up in there. Already scouted that left item, knows it's garbage, so just moving on through to bowling. And MM, deciding that a green gate glitch is a lot easier than fighting Gold Torizo, decides to come check this item the back way after resetting.
And again, makes it look easy.
Not a bad reward there for that green gate glitch. Ether could very well be required. We know we need Bombos up on Turtle Rock, but gonna check out Mire here to see if we need Bombos for both, and we do. So the other two medallions looking like not needed today.
Alrighty, so we cannot check Checkerboard Cave because we don't have the mirror, correct?
That is correct. So these two are.
Never mind.
Bakht, I need you to commentate my runs from now on. So yes, as Bakht was saying, we couldn't up until moments ago check Checkerboard Cave, but with that mirror, gonna be able to get in here and check this item as well.
Alrighty, so I think all we're looking. I think all we're looking for now is Bombos, King of Samaria, and pops another Charge Beam or more ammo for Super Metroid.
Yep, that sounds about right. And MM gonna take this opportunity to backdoor Desert while they're here. So, grabbing their second sword, really nice to have, and probably just gonna sneak in and clear out Desert Palace.
Yeah, that is sword 3 of 4 now. Casino and MM2 Nets have found two of the same sword, have found one of the same sword, and they've also each found a different one.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, 2 items from Go Mode at an hour 30. This is, I don't think I'd call this a jet seed, but it's been very fast.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying before, just following the logic was definitely the play to go here. Despite it being a hard mode seed, and while it still opened up the seed to allow for a lot of variety in plays and things like that, still a quick seed. I love it.
Meantime, one of the prizes in Desert is one of the 2 green rupees in the item pool. Alrighty, we've got Fire Rod. Alright, I believe if memory serves, the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod both do gold sword damage to the Land Molus, correct?
They do both wreck the Land Molus, that is correct. Fire Rod does shoot a little bit more quickly than the Ice Rod, so that's the one you'll typically see runners use. However, if all they have is Ice Rod, most runners have gotten used to the difference in the pacing of the shots. But just 2 shots from either rod to each landmo will take it out.
Meantime, Simo is kind of following in MM2 Ness's footsteps. Ooh, their health is pretty low. They got to be careful.
Yeah, and just 7 energy in that reserve, so not an actual reserve tank there to help out. Hopefully they don't get tricked by seeing that auto there, thinking they have some reserve or health in reserve.
Gets 2 of the Landmos on cycle 1, and then finishes off the third one right at the start of cycle 2. Or the compass.
Yep, so that is, as chat was pointing out, our very first crystal coming at the hour 32 mark here for MM2 NES cartridge. That puts MM at 2 Super Metroid bosses and 1 required crystal. Doesn't seem like a lot, but like we were just discussing, really all that's left out there is King of Samaria, Bombos, and it would be nice to get the gravity suit, nice to get charge or some more ammo. So we're getting pretty darn close to go mode.
As I've said before about the gravity suit, I believe we can, if we can get to Dark Ice Rod, we can backdoor to Dragon, and I think that way you just need the grapple beam or the space ship to get to him. Actually, no, you would need both. You would need grapple to climb the shaft before the full halfy room, and then space jump gets you across the full halfy room.
Yep, definitely not a super comfortable way to cross it, but if that's the way that it has to be done, and if that means we can skip all of Meridia, I'm sure these runners will be okay doing that instead of Meridia.
Absolutely. Meantime, MM2 Nest is back into Super Metroid, gonna go do Lower Norfair. Taking out some of the Rippers here with the screw attack. They are guaranteed to drop super missiles if you are less than full on them.
Yep, always a really nice place to stock up on those supers before your Ridley fight.
Going through fast pillars here. Normally you would charge a Shine Spark and go through fast pillars fast that way. And up here, MM2 Nest has everything needed to make worst room in the game an absolute show.
Yep, definitely before Randomizer, when first getting into Super Metroid, hearing people call it worst room in the game, I always thought, well, no, it's not. You have space jump and screw attack and high jump boots. Then the more Randomizer I watch and play, I realize, oh no, that is a terrible room.
Indeed. It's not even that it's hard. What I've heard is that it's not even that it's hard to execute. It's that it lags like a jerk.
Yep, as Simo also wanting to play the full game here, getting Kraid 2.0 as I saw in chat earlier, and I like that. The name, not seeing Kraid 2.0.
Alrighty, there are two items on the way. There are two items down in this section. The power bombs of shame, so named because you only pick them up if you've managed your ammo poorly and run out of power bombs here. And then what would normally be an energy tank behind Ridley himself.
Absolutely, and the way the seed has been playing out, and I know chat kind of alluded to it, the Where's Bombos that we're going to have going on here. Bogd, where do you think that Bombos medallion is going to pop up? Because that's locking off 2 of our crystals for Link to the Past.
It's also locking off a 5/6 crystal, so there's no way it can be a pyramid fairy. Is there any? You know what? I'm gonna say green pendant turn in, just for maximum trollage.
Very spicy, very spicy. Okay. Techno Link, come on. Techno wanting Bombos on Shack Tool. I'm feeling Meridia, but I don't think it's going to be that trolly.
We had Bombos on Shack Tool for Crystal Meyer the last time I commentated last Monday.
But MM going into the Ridley fight, more than enough super missiles to take out the dragon here.
With a very comfortable buffer too.
Absolutely, just jump and unload those missiles until you've managed to land 30 of them, and then wait for Ridley to pick you up. But MM must have miscounted by 1 there, because it takes a bop from Ridley, but then gets it. So 3 SM bosses down for MM, 2 NES cartridge here.
There's a full heart behind Ridley. Now on the way out, we have Fire Fleas, PB's in Jail, Hoarder Ruby Special, and Franker's Z-Room.
Yep, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know we saw Simo do Bubble Mountain, but have we seen MM do Bubble Mountain? This might route really nicely into those Bubble Mountain checks for NES cartridge.
Actually, we haven't, and if I remember my item count right, that'll be MM2 NES's third sword at the weight beam.
I think that's correct. So that's going to be a nice tempered sword to just absolutely melt through the rest of those Link to the Past dungeons that MM needs to do.
Does the speedball to break the bricks without having to take time to lay a bomb. Three key hunters in this room, just got to be careful. Those guys do a ton of damage.
Yeah, even if they had gravity suit, really pack a wallop, but that screw attack definitely making lower Norfair just almost trivial. Still dangerous, but definitely a lot safer.
An interesting little fact about the Fire Flea room here, because of the way the Fire Flea effect works, the X-ray scope does not function properly in this room. So if you came up here and you tried to X-ray scope the left side there to see if you could go through it, you would not be able to tell. Oh, and there's our morpho bombs at Peeves in Jail. Energy tank for the Hooded Ruby special.
Yep, really free location, so can grab that.
Dr. RM, what's the other one? Is it another one in the Firefly room? And super missiles at the Franker Z room. We are now on 50 missiles and 50 supers, 100 regulars. That's it. That is more than enough to fight Mother Brain without the charge beam.
Yep, and with those 30 power bombs, just pointing out Techno's concern in chat, plenty of power bombs, already have a can fly. Most of Super Metroid already done for MM, so no real need to go and grab those morph bombs.
Getting another bottle? Or no, he's skipping the bottle. But yes, here is sword number 3 for MM2 NES. So we had Tempered Silver Ganon. Oh, that's right, we're also missing the bow.
Oh, goodness gracious, how have we forgotten that? Yeah, I see the silver's lit up on the tracker, so in my head, for whatever reason, I think, oh yeah, we don't need anything there. But you're right, we need bow, Cane of Samaria, Bombos.
So the trolliest thing we could possibly have now would be bow on pet, I think.
Can't have bow on ped because Eastern is a pendant, so that does save us there.
Right. In that case, we can pretty definitively say pet is dead.
It could have Bombos. And then depending on key layout in Ice Palace, Cane could be logically required or not. So those are really the only two items that could be there. I mean, Gravity Suit, maybe?
Point taken.
Yep. No, I'm all for it, Bach. I love wanting Ped to be dead, but at the same time, we have to have a little bit of Schadenfreude.
I think I pronounced Schadenfreude.
Ah, got him backwards. Thank you.
Oh, here's another item we haven't seen, the Norfair Reserve. Yeah, because, right, yeah, Simo got here before they got their Morph Ball. Magic Cave, completely pointless at this point.
Did we see what's on the bumper ledge? I know one of them ran that way after Skull Woods, but I'm not sure if we saw bumper ledge.
Yeah, one of them checked it. I didn't see what it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alrighty, Simo is playing the national anthem to Loose the Goose.
Yep, despite having the flute first, MM not having it activated, so Simo going to be the first one with that active flute.
Okay, Simo went to... Okay, so yeah, did Simo get the magic powder out of when they did Wreck Ship?
I believe so, yes. However, they don't have their hammer yet from behind Morph Ball Pedestal, behind the Power Bomb wall there, so can't do the hammer. And they don't have their mirror from Mire Shed, so can't do the mirror trick. Oh, never mind, they do have a hammer. I apologize.
Alrighty, so that's Magic Bat, and that's another new check. Looks like Simo... No, MM2 NES heading for Tower of Hera at this point. Two prizes in there, plus a crystal. And Magic Bat's just got $20. Alrighty, there's the map. Small key, and I believe that means that the big key has to be vanilla, correct?
Correct. But rather than waiting that out, MM2 NES is going to show off the... Ooh! Might regret picking that item up in the air. I do believe that messes with the altitude variable for this Hera pod trick. So gonna have to reset Hera if he wants to do this trick. I don't... Oh, never mind. Must have picked it up just right.
Alrighty, so here's a fairy room, and this will pop us off on right above the big chest. And we have creamy, delicious golden butter.
All right. So MM just really hoping Moldorm has the last item, as Simo about to get their mirror here. Going to be pretty happy about that pickup.
So if Moldorm does not, if Moldorm has the compass, that means that the last item is in the big chest.
Correct, which would mean having to go down, going through the coffee break tile room, then back up the tower to get to that big chest. So I know MM is really rooting for it to be the item here.
Whoops.
Didn't root hard enough. So this is where MM has to make that decision, though. Knowing how close he is to go mode, does he go back in for the one item, or does he check out a couple of other checks that are available in, maybe last location Hera?
If it was me, I go back as long as I'm here. I
was in the same boat as you, but it looks like MM has probably Spike Cave on their mind.
Yeah, that magic cave puts Spike. The magic cave, I believe, puts Spike Cave in logic.
Yep. Otherwise, I believe it's something along the lines of 14 hearts. Or like 8 hearts in a bottle. There's a couple of variations that put it into logic.
There's our Book of Medora. That gives us access to the tablets. Honestly, if I was MM2 Nest at that point, I would have reset to the mountain cave and gone and immediately checked the ether tablet.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the good news is now that's 2 items up there for MM. So the tablet check and that item in Hera. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cruel to be orphaning both of them, but the silver lining is if one of those is right, it's at least a 2-item check instead of a 1-item check.
I gotcha.
Still feels bad.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest playing the national anthem. We're loosen their goose. Honestly, yeah. At this point, with the check, if I'm MM2 Nest at this point with that Book of Medora, I'm gonna go double check that pad just so I can eliminate it. He's in the right place too.
Yep. And Skullwood's clearable with that fire rod, so could go back there, just mirror check that ped. Not a bad idea.
Oh, I think MM2 Nest is gonna get their lamp.
There you go, smart. Meyer and Turok do both have dark rooms that can be a little tricky if you're not overly experienced with them. So having that lamp, if it's as free as this, doesn't hurt.
Absolutely. Okay, so now the question is Okay, MM2 Nest flying to Link's house. Okay, he's probably going to do Swamp now. Yeah, probably going for crystal density at this point.
Absolutely. A lot of checks down here in Swamp, required dungeon. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to go mode, but if you need this many items and 2 of them are locked, and 2 whole dungeons are locked behind bombos, may as well just go for the dense check. And I was just informed by our tracker, Warn Traveler, that tracker is eating a lot of the items, so we do apologize for that. We'll get things updated as we're able. Just a heads up, Warren is working on that on the back end, but if things aren't updating right away, just a heads up.
Hey, there's our charge beam at K45. Still need at least plasma beam to make it worth using. Plasma plus ice would be 600 damage per charge shot. Add wave for the full beam combo to make it 900.
Yep. I mean, what that really does for MM2 is just a tiny bit of peace of mind knowing you're not going to soft lock in Mother Brain now, even though that would take a lot of ammo mismanagement to accomplish.
Indeed.
And looks like Simo is going to beat MM into Swamp as MM checking the Vanilla Bombos.
Yeah, we have Laser Mike called Vanilla Bombo, so we'll see if they're right.
Get my Witch's Pyre ready, but just some bombs.
Alrighty, now there's nothing stopping either of them from finishing Swamp, is there?
Nope, they have the hammer so they can progress. They both have the mirror to get in. They both have the flippers and the hook shot, so they're perfectly good to go. The only thing is, if they were wanting to skip a little bit using the newer diver down tech, Kana Samaria helps with that, but there are bomb setups that, if they know those, they can just do those to get that speed tech going.
Yeah, I saw some diver down bomb setups last time I called, and I had not realized you could do diver down with bombs.
Yep, and there's our gravity suit hiding out in the Swamp Palace here. So kind of a good news, bad news situation for the runners. The good news, obviously, it's going to make Dragon a lot easier, who's required, but that does open a lot of checks there in Meridia for our last few items.
Yeah, we both have Ice Beam, so which means I believe there is an Ice Clip to get to Shack Tool in Logic on hard.
I do believe you're right. The Ice Clip is in Logic on hard mode to get to Shack Tool there.
Alrighty.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was just going to point out how fun it is to see a seed that's been this open and this diverse at the 2-hour mark, having both runners in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. On that same note, it routinely surprises me that with how long these go, from 3 hours to 4+, that we commonly have racers finishing within minutes, if not seconds, of each other.
Absolutely, which goes back to what we were talking about a while ago, is just the amount of execution and games now, because there's 2 games on display here through Witchcraft and Magic and the powers of Total and other people who are incredibly intelligent. Just what these players can accomplish in these games in such a short period of time that in my childhood, each game took me, weeks to beat.
Simo setting up to do the diver down here. For anyone who might not know, the idea is that you get clipped into the railing like that, and that lets you use a jump down ledge transition instead of a jump into water transition. And there is our plasma beam. Simo dealing with the glitchy staircase there. They get it just fine. And it looks like M2 Ness is going to go for the other diver down here.
Yep, gonna set up this bomb transition, let it go off just in time to hit the crystal switch. Hopefully this fire snake behaves, but nope, gonna have to wait it out. But very similar to the other setup, gonna get on the right pixel, set a bomb down, jump into the water, jump out at the right angle and hold against this ledge, and get pushed in.
Yeah, one of my friends who does Link to the Past, just the Link to the Past randomizer, says that the game doesn't handle multiple things happening at once very well.
That's a very kind way to put it.
Alrighty, Simo is just about to Argus. Looks like he's skipping the left side. Looks like they're skipping the left side checks.
Yep, I know we did see a map, so it's possible that Simo plans on coming back in here, but just going through, killing Argus for now, not a bad idea, because as we saw, Big Key was in the back, so it does require a little bit of backtracking anyway, so tiny little bit of pseudo time save there by doing it this way, but not much on the left side anyway.
Meantime, Simo is fighting Argus, and with the temperature, those puffs only take 1 slash apiece. So just kind of pulling them off and chopping them down. Going for fire rod strats.
Yeah.
Fire rod and spin strats, really. And there we go.
Probably deciding that 1.5 hearts don't want to be too gutsy against Argus, but taking it down, Simo grabbing another crystal.
Looks like MM2 Nets did go for the clear out on the left side, considering how much time he seemed to have lost on Simo.
Yep, cleared out the left again. Not much there. Might go back for the big chest after seeing that big key there, but the real prize in this dungeon definitely being that plasma beam and the required crystal, of course.
Absolutely. So let's see. Ooh, MM2 Nest getting caught by the glitchy staircase. Okay, the big chest is just right back here, isn't it?
Yep, just a couple of screen transitions, so not a bad idea to just go ahead and grab it as soon as you can. So, but Simo deciding not to do left side, so gonna save a little bit of time there for that gamble.
Yeah, we saw from MM2 Nest that left side will not pay out, so we know Simo's not going to get punished for this.
Yep, looks like Simo's taken the gravity suit plasma beam and saying, all right, fine, we'll do Meridia.
Did Simo get their charge beam? I don't remember.
I don't believe so, because Simo went right to Swamp without checking Cave 45.
Oh, right, that's where it was. Yeah, Simo doesn't have it. But yeah, so we have X-Ray, we have Charge, we have Plasma. Ooh, Spring Ball and Crab Supers. So we are most likely going to see Microwave Baboon and Microwave Dragon.
Yep, for sure on MM's side. But, you know, the rest of Meridia, Space Jump, Screw Attack, Plasma Beam, pretty trivial here to clear out and check everything.
And it looks like Simo setting up for a Shine Spark to get to the top of the room here. Heart piece on the pedestal, and what do we have in the wall? Just missiles.
Yep, Simo definitely having the smaller amount of missiles, still has 90, so happy to pass up on those. As Argus goes down on MM's side for another crystal.
Simo's not sitting not quite as pretty on ammo as MM2 Ness is, but they do still definitely have enough to do the end game without that charge beam.
Absolutely, and Simo passing up on Spring Ball there. Perfectly fine, not required, especially in hard mode. Definitely more of a quality of life sort of item.
Even more power bombs at the beach item. Simo now heading toward Watering Hole. And I think M02 Ness is about to backdoor Dragon.
Yep. Definitely looks like it went right by Ice Palace, so doesn't want to bop in there for that green pendant that I know you're hoping for, Bakht. And there's our Samaria.
Ooh, that could be bad for MM2 Ness, because if he backdoors Dragon, he's not going to have much reason to go do anything else in Meridia.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, could still be looking at a back-to-front clear. I know there are some runners who prefer that.
Yes, that's also possible. Gonna
Yeah.
dip in here to check what's behind Bot Wound. Looks like just a red rupee.
Yeah, just $20, so definitely nothing super important there.
Simo into the aqueduct room.
Yep, checking the speed booster items, probably going to see a save, and then, I don't know, left pit or right pit first? What kind of player are you, Bacht? I know you said it's been a while, but what do you like to see, left pit first or right pit first?
I do right first.
Check Shack while you're there?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. No, I'm definitely of the same mind of you as I absolutely hate orphaning items, especially one as disgusting as Shack Tool. You never want to come all the way back here to check that.
Yeah, that last race I was talking about last week, Maniacal orphaned Bombos at Shack Tool, and Maniacal wound up. I think it was Maniacal. He wound up losing. He wound up. It was just. Oh, it was. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttery right now. But if you'll watch what MM2 Ness is doing, gonna fire a plasma beam. And that was the Yellow Devil Paw Trick from Mega Man, also known as the Microwave Strat.
Yep. Something interesting I heard on a commentary one time is if you're not sure how many times to keep spamming the X-ray scope there, if you're crouched like MM was, as soon as you've dealt enough damage to Dragon, Samus's sprite will automatically spring up into a standing position, so you know exactly when you can stop the microwave trick.
And the reason for that is that the reason you're forced into the standing pose when Dragon dies is so that you can't soft lock by latching onto a turret with the grapple beam and killing Dragon that way. Ooh, Simo needs to be careful. They don't exactly have a lot of ammo left.
Yep, and as you so rightfully pointed out, Simo is the one without charge beam, so definitely going to want that ammo for the Dragon kill, and opted not to get that grappling beam in the sand pit, thinking it would take too much time to come back, which also would have saved some time on this kill.
Alrighty, so looks like MM2 is going to do that back to front Meridian clear like you mentioned, so he should get his Samaria out of here. So we'll see if watering hole first or sand pits first. Alrighty, MM2 checking the right pit first.
Yep, and Simo just missing the full halfie there, didn't quite get the jump off in time.
50 rupees and a heart piece. And MM2 Ness, okay, they're not reset. He's not resetting, so I think he's. Oh, he's okay. Yeah, he's right by the turbo tube, so he's gonna go check plasma beam.
Yep, not a bad little trick here when doing that back to front route.
And then that'll spit him out. That'll spit him out back by the full halfie room. So that'll make it easy for him to go back and check the left sand pit, and from there he'll probably check Shack Tool.
Yep, looks like Simo practicing some short charges, probably going to do the charge kill on Dragon here. So really tight short charges there, but getting him off.
Yeah, I believe Dragon can take up to 150 damage per frame from a Shine Spark. And Simo getting the blue suit glitch, but okay, because you're forced into the standing position when Dragon dies, the game didn't properly clear the variable that tracked if Simo had speed echoes. Yeah, they lost it because they pressed the run button while the glitch was in effect, but that's how that works. Okay, yeah, I think MM2 is gonna get that grapple beam so that they can get to Shaq Tool the vanilla way instead of having to futz around with the ice clip.
Yeah, definitely a good location for this grapple beam right before checking Shaq for sure.
MM2 doing some very tight wall jumps and mid-air morphs to get through that.
Absolutely, well done there. Meanwhile, Simo taking down Dragon on their side. Probably going to go check Plasma since they've already cleared out the front of Meridia here.
I think when all is said and done, both of our runners will have spent about the same time in Meridia. Maybe a little more for Simo because MM2 is not going to have to fight Bot Wound. Alrighty, and welcome to one of Super Metroid's coffee breaks, Shaq Tool.
Yep, and actually it looks like Simo only checked the one pit earlier, so also going to be in Shaq Tool at the same time. So I beg your pardon, I'm going to use this opportunity to refill my water.
Alrighty, I'll see you in a minute or two.
Sounds good. I'm sure we'll still have Shaq Tool on screen.
Very possible. A little interesting note that I heard was Shaq Tool is actually immune to the Hyper Beam. Alrighty, so let's see, what do we have here? It's just a heart piece, so Shaq Tool got nothing today. Alrighty, so so we know MM2 needs to get to Samaria get to Watering Hole for his Cane of Samaria. Hopefully he remembers to do that. If he orphans that's gonna be a pretty hard orphan. In the meantime, Simo is back to Norfair, taking the cross-game portal back to Link to the Past.
I don't see chat freaking out, so I'm assuming Shaq Tool was a whole lot of nothing.
Heart piece.
Shame.
Looks like Simo is heading for Death Mountain. Simo's heading for Death Mountain. The MM2 gets the gate glitch there. Gonna go for the Shine Spark to Main Street missiles.
Yep, very nice short charge there, grabbing that full heart container.
Okay, Floating Island I just saw on Simo's side is just $20. I didn't catch it when MM2 did Hookshot Cave earlier. Simo getting Dead Rocked, which is always annoying as heck.
Yep, Simo about to get the bad news that they're going to be looking for another medallion yet.
Open the menu by reflex just in case they have the right one, it looked like.
Yep.
Did Simo get their Book of Mudora?
Perfect timing on opening up the menu there. No, they did not.
Oh. And it looks like MM2 is going to get that Spring Ball for some reason I can't fathom. Or not.
Nope, just gonna meme.
So yeah, that back-to-front check paying dividends for MM2 Ness. Simo setting up for Harapot. Will be interesting to see if they come back for it.
Absolutely, and showing off a really nice bomb setup there, so really cool to see both Harapot strategies on either side of the restream today, both the boot spin speed setup as well as the bomb setup.
And Simo now has creamy, delicious golden butter as MM2 Nest gets their red cane. His red cane. Pronouns are hard. How do I do them?
I think as long as you're actively trying to use the correct pronouns, that's what's important.
Yeah, don't want to make it too much about me, but I feel bad that I didn't double check what Simo's were earlier.
Oh, getting middle pit.
So that's a 2-floor fall.
Yep, just got to shake it off, and go back up there and give Moldorm what for. The good news is with Gold Sword, it is just 2 slashes there, so still should be a pretty quick Moldorm fight. So Moldorm round 2, the Revenge of Simo.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest heading out of Meridia via the connection to Red Tower. I wonder if we have... Okay, we have Pod Skullwoods and Ice Palace are available right now. Any of those could have the bow or Bonmos, right?
Yeah. We can definitely check those. I do think Simo checked some of Skullwoods, but not the back, if memory serves. So we still have those options available. The Ether Tablet. Simo also not going in for that last check in Hera, so that could be a last location check that we're looking at for those. But if we're looking at just density, I would definitely say Pod is looking like a very valuable play for our runners right now.
Is it 5 or 6 prizes in Pod?
I do believe it's 6, but I want to double check my math on that. I know it's 6 keys. Small keys.
Oh, MM2 Nest's gonna go finish off Super Metroid.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Definitely one of those things that some runners choose to do is sort of a muscle memory. All right, now I have 6 minutes, clear my head. What's my next play going to be? What have I left behind? So definitely an understandable play here.
Absolutely. It's more common to see Super Metroid finish second because when you beat Ganon, you can just save and quit and then hard reset to respawn at the ship. The MM2 Nest's going to have to be careful of the Metroids here because they do not have those Morpal bombs. He doesn't have the Morpal bombs. So if a Metroid does latch onto him, he's going to have to destroy it with power bombs.
Yep, does have plenty to get the job done, so nothing to worry about there. But we are going to get one of those checks here on Simo's side, so looks like we're going to get that Ether Tablet.
When did Simo get their... Where was Book?
Book was in Spike Cave, so both runners got it right after Tower of Hera. The other cane. But yeah,
not helpful, game. Not helpful.
MM saved and quit right out of Spike Cave, whereas Simo decided to pop back over after Spike Cave and check.
Whoops, Simo getting grabbed and he's losing health real fast.
Yep. Luckily, while the power bomb animation is finishing, I believe you don't take damage, so there's a little bit of reprieve there.
You can also You can also jump with the screw attack to avoid taking damage, since you're invincible during that.
The more you know. Thank you, Bacht.
Yeah, Simo most likely gonna take a ship save here to reload. MM2 Nest looks like he's not even gonna bother trying to do the baby skip because he's gonna have to refill his health anyway.
Going for the patented baby skip instead.
Faces to the right, which means the stand-up animation will be about 45 frames shorter. Those little time saves.
Yep, but when you're playing through a game this long, those frame saves start to add up.
And like I said, it's very common for our runners to finish within minutes, if not seconds, of each other. All right, and then already SEMO heading for the Myers area. They'll probably backdoor to Lower Norfair. Now remind me, there's a statue in Pod that you have to shoot with the bow in order to progress. So part of Pod is not completable yet.
Yep, that statue does lock off only Helmasaur King. So, I mean, we could definitely get through the majority of Pod and not have to worry about it. But if the bow does happen to be in there, then we would be able to finish that. So, really nice Zebetite skip there from MM, though.
Well done. Now, here's Mother Brain Phase 1. You need to use 18 projectiles total to break the glass all the way, and then you have to do 3,000 damage.
Meanwhile, SEMO deciding they will take on Golden Torizo as Mother Brain 1 goes down.
Mother Brain 2 here has 18,000 health, and that Charge Ice Fragment does 600 as I mentioned earlier, so that's going to be 30 charge shots. Mother Brain's Restaurant serving up some onion rings. There's a chicken nugget. Nice little french fry.
Wasn't that an old Jethro Tull song, Mother Brain's Restaurant?
I guess I know.
Pretty sure it was Alice's Restaurant, but we'll say Mother Brain for now.
And there's a packet of ketchup. Ooh, MM2 Nest takes that one on the nose, on the chin intentionally to set up for the stand-up glitch. Has 7 energy tanks. It's going to take 300 from this. Oh no, they unequipped the Varia to take more damage. And so, I don't know. For some reason, unequipping the Varia suit confuses the game into thinking that you can take another one. Take another rainbow. But you damage down to below 100, and it goes like this. There will be one more spot here where the game tries to force Samus into the kneeling posture for the cutscene. Just have to be in the air when that happens, and then MM2 will be free to start damaging Mother Brain Phase 3. SEMO shows off the fast pillar spark on the other side.
Yep, and Bakht, you might be able to call attention to it. I believe with the X-ray scope, if they were to get down into that kneeling position, they would be able to get out of it with that scope, correct?
I've heard that, yes, but I've never seen a runner have to do it.
Yeah, always nice to know a trick is available, but hope you never have to use it.
Yes, MM2 Nest also has to be careful here to make sure that once their energy is full, the Metroid is in a position where Mother Brain can damage it.
Yep, really good stand-up glitch there. Fired off quite a few charge shots, so should, without wave, still doing a good chunk of damage. I don't know, about 7 rainbow shots left. Or more. I was way off.
I think that was 12. And yeah, you have to be very careful. Yeah, MM2 Nest pushed that really far. You have to be careful because if you have a beam shot on screen when the transition to the hyper beam happens, you will crash the game.
Yep. So fun little aspect of the combo randomizer here. Everything's blowing up. Oh, we gotta escape quickly, but there's no timer on screen. And that's because the game knows that you still have to beat Link to the Past. So once we get up here through the shaft, we're gonna stop seeing all the shaking. The planet's gonna be magically fine, and we can go back to Link to the Past.
Yeah, while we've got a little bit of downtime, if anyone's curious why the randomizer works, it's because Super Metroid and Link to the Past don't share any important memory addresses in the Super Nintendo's working memory space. It's really fascinating. And as long as I'm thinking about it, let's give a shout out to Total, the madman behind the logic that makes the randomizer function, giving us so much entertainment.
Absolutely. And nice behemoth spark there by MM, getting out of the shaft back into Link of the Past. Meanwhile, SEMO about to take on their Ridley fight. So looking forward to that.
And in the meantime, if you'd like to, follow our runners. That is SEMO and MM2 NES cartridge. And I'm sure both Tavarius and myself, as well as our tracker, Warn Traveler, would love a follow too.
SEMO doing the same strats as MM2, just having way too many super missiles to know what to do with. Unloads them all into Ridley, and a nice jumping catch there to finish off that fight. So that's SEMO's fourth Super Metroid boss down, as MM2, maybe we're going to get that ped check here at 2.5 hours.
This is it's absolutely do it now or do it never. Okay, so do you think MM2 Nuts will do it before or after taking out Mothula?
If it were me, I would say after, just because a really quick play would be run to the back, kill Mothula. When you warp back to the start of that area of the dungeon, you can go get that bridge chest, pull out the mirror to warp back to the front of the dungeon, and then you already have your mirror out. So it saves a menu, saves a little bit of time. I think that's how MM's going to pull it off.
Alrighty, let's see.
However, he has the mirror out already, so could be proven wrong instantly. Nope. All right.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest, a couple of rooms are ready for Mothula. Gonna take out some of these mummy guys. I don't remember what they're called.
Yep, Gibdos. They
forgot to light the bottom torch.
It still gets through in time, though. Half magic really makes that room nice and trivial. Just fire rod everything and run through.
Now, what is the prize that's normally in this dungeon? Is it fire rod? No, it can't be because. Yep. No, it could be.
It is the fire rod in the big chest, and then you use it to destroy that skull in the back to get here to Mothula.
And just why would you make a boss like this? Moving spikes, conveyor belt floor, the boss itself. It's just someone must have been having an awful day when they designed this fight.
Not only that, but the randomizer actually made it so Gold Sword could damage Mothula, because in the game's coding, for whatever reason, Gold Sword and those spikes do the same class of damage to Mothula, and the game developers thought, well, we don't want Mothula to take damage from Gold Sword if you happen to have that, so if you hit Mothula into the spikes, he'll actually take no damage whatsoever, so just further compounding how awful that boss is.
Alrighty, here we go. Ped check. The only relevant thing this could be is bombos. Nope, Ped is dead.
Yep, just 300 rupees. Yep, which means then that book was an entire red herring, because SEMO did give us that ether check, and I know MM gave us the bombos check.
Meantime, did we find one of the two prizes in here already, or are we still looking for both of them?
I believe SEMO checked front, and now MM has checked the back, so I believe that leaves us with a whole lot of bupkis for Skull Woods.
Possibly something in the big chest?
Possible. That would be something that wasn't checked.
Yeah, MM2 Ness has the... MM2 Ness is going to be in the right position to check that, I believe. Alrighty, probably gonna go for a bomb jump, most likely.
Looks good. Yep, gets the spin to guarantee it.
Boosh. Bonks back over the gap.
Yep, and then just going to check the rest. Meanwhile, Simo doing the 2.5-hour lumberjack check just to make sure, do I have to go to Aghanim? But gets the good news there.
Alrighty, that's one prize on MM2 Ness's side. He's still going for it, so I think there's the other prize. The scene is absolutely inundating the runners with power bombs.
Yep, and something we completely forgot to call out, I apologize to MM, single G in chat for finishing off Mother Brain and finishing off one game there on MM's side.
Absolutely. I forgot about that too.
Like you were saying, Bakht, so used to people doing Super Metroid second.
Exactly. And meantime, the bumper ledge was just arrows, so nothing doing there.
Yep, couple of fresh checks here though. To Furby Oates' question in chat, yep, it was book, and both runners have done it.
Looks like I don't think we saw a graveyard ledge on Simo's side. This could be something.
Yep, yeah, we're gonna have to just stay in suspense for just a moment here. Meanwhile, Simo going to go ahead and take the purple chest for a walk. No one has checked Ice Palace yet, Grand Lurker.
Honey, we also have not seen the lunchbox, so that could be something for Simo.
Yep, getting their charge beam though from Cave 45 here, so I'm sure Simo will be happy to see that. Meanwhile, MM gonna pop into King's Tomb here and grab just some bombs.
Ice Palace is available and completable. We just haven't seen it. Just hasn't happened yet.
Yep, ice available and completable. Could be that green pendant, and then loop that in with pod. But MM might be doing catfish into pod here. We also haven't seen Pyramid Ledge of all places, so that could be an important piece of progression that's outside of a dungeon.
Indeed. MM2 Nest turning into Mushroom. Where did we find that? I didn't see.
Mushroom, I believe, was somewhere in Meridia or Lower Norfair. I'm trying to recall which one.
Okay, MM2 Nests are... Why are you... You turned in the Mushroom. Okay.
Yep, so there is a quick warp there right under that bush, and I believe what MM was trying to do is slash the bush, and then when he would mirror to the Dark World, the bush would be there in the Dark World and instantly warp him back. It's a little bit faster than a screen transition to the left, so was going for that, but just barely missed the bush.
Okay.
One of those frame time savers that we were talking about, but then accidentally gets hit when he wasn't looking to get it. Cloth Tunic's letting us know it was in wrecked ship. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
But both runners sniffing out where progression is, both in the same area of the world here. Simo gonna mirror to get the hobo under the bridge. Meanwhile, MM checking out catfish.
Stalled in midair with the bonk. That's kind of funny. And catfish just got $20. Oh yes, the waterfall of wishing. We never saw that either.
Yep. So definitely could be something here.
Could be, but not.
Or it could be useless. Fun fact with the combo randomizer, in the Link to the Past randomizer, if you throw an empty bottle into one of the fairy fountains, you'll get a random bottle fill. However, in the combo randomizer, it will always be a green potion. So if you throw an empty bottle into a fairy fountain, you'll get a green potion. But here we go. What couple of checks haven't seen? One going for Pyramid Ledge, one going for Ice Palace.
Alrighty, let's see what we got.
Simo saying they have plenty of super missiles, so gonna pass up on that pack.
MM2 Ness making his way through Ice Palace. What are these guys? What are they called?
Pen Gators is the official lore behind those. I just call them jerks.
Cute.
Yeah, but both runners absolutely avoiding pod without that bow. Really hope that it doesn't come back to bite him and the bow's just sitting there, but the thing about pod is if that first check isn't a key, it's logically bow locked, so that could be something weighing on the players' minds, that they don't want a potion glitch knowing that just one bow is out there.
Right.
What worries me is if that first check isn't a key, but it's Bombos, and then our bow is in Mire or Turtle Rock.
MM2 Ness going for the Icebreaker strat here. How does this one work? Is it just like terrain ejection?
Yep, so it's a door state extension glitch. So if you come straight out of the door and then you move just slight pixels, you can make the game think Link is still in the door where collision doesn't exist, and then using the Cane of Samaria, which the short version is it breaks the game, you can just push Link through that wall.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was how that worked.
Yep, there's a lot of backscene magic behind it that I don't fully comprehend, but there's our Bombos, so we do need to come independent ice.
Honestly, if I'm MM2 Ness at this, I finish this off just in case, or I at least find all three prizes. It's 3 prizes in Ice Palace, right?
Yep, and I'm with you 100% on that, Bacht. It's one of those things where we're still missing that bow, and so if you duck out now and the bow happens to be here, that's a last location.
And yep, yeah, MM2 Ness has that big key. He's gonna check the big chest.
Yep, and there is our third item. So we had Bombos, I believe, an energy tank, and then those missiles.
Yep. And yeah, looks like MM2 Ness is going to go ahead and finish the dungeon off to get the crystal.
Green pendant, which is another item for us. So that's a real heads up.
I said the wrong word.
Yep, it's all good. It's still that extra check though, so it does add a little bit of value there when MM2 does eventually go to pod. Could turn that in, and that could very well be our bow.
Yep, MM2 Net's going to use the fire rod to melt Cold Stare's shell. Uses way more magic, but it also doesn't take as long.
Yep, half magic and gold sword though. I don't think MM is too worried about Cold Stare here. Gonna put baby in a corner and got away from him there. That's all right.
Well, Simo making the Ice Palace play just as MM2 Ness is finishing. Alrighty, so bow is our go mode item. Is there anything in Mire or Turtle Rock that requires the bow?
There is not. So bow could be in either of those locations for us. There are 2 items in Misery Mire. It's a little out of the way, so yep, see an MM check that first, because if bow is here, go clear out Palace of Darkness, and then do Turtle Rock last so you can just walk right over to Ganon's Tower. And since Turtle Rock is our other 5/6, the bow could also be on Pyramid Fairy. Yep, could absolutely be there. So are we going to have a nice Mire, or are we going to have a pain in the neck Mire here? Could get the 2 items in the big key right away, or we could have to go through the Firelock side.
So MM2 Ness making this look like nothing. Does your sword beam damage improve as your sword tier goes up?
Nope, the beam does the same, but both of the enemies in that room are just very frail, and so a sword beam is enough to kill them.
Great Lurker, no, there's a statue you have to shoot in with the bow to get to Helmasaur King.
Yep, the red mimic is in Eastern Palace. There are the red mimics in Eastern Palace. You need the bow to get by. Simo taking the 3 items and getting the heck out of there. So if it's green pendant, that could spell disaster for Simo. But gonna take that gamble. Could very well be because of those early sequence breaks in the seed leading to nothing. Simo might feel, okay, gotta make a few choices here that may not be ideal, but we'll see. We'll see if it pays off.
And my co-commentator from last week, 329th in line, said something that I really liked. There's a difference between making a bad play and just making a good play, but it turns out wrong.
Oh, 100%. And it's one of those things where, a bad play would be, leaving ice with 2 of those items still in there. A good play that turns out wrong would be like we're talking about here, where you've cleared it out, but it just so happens to be green pendant. So going for those density plays, I agree 100% with you in 329th. Not bad plays at all, but just could turn out wrong.
MM2 Ness gets the cutscene to set up the transition to the big key. And meantime, Simo will give us our first look at Turtle Rock.
Yep, very interesting divergence here. Couple extra items available in Turtle Rock, so that could be what's laying on Simo's mind here. With the vanilla big key in Mire for MM.
We haven't seen either prize in Mire yet, have we?
Nope, and that's kind of the weird part about Mire is there are several small keys available in the different chests, so sometimes it can take a while to get those prizes.
Alrighty, what's MM2 Nest going for here?
Yep. Gonna grab the big chest here, gonna grab the compass chest and head back to kill Vitreous. Meanwhile, Simo on rails here, gonna light some torches and grab 2 chests up here.
Well, there's our weight beam, long after we could possibly even use it. And there's the red shield, that is both Mire prizes.
Yep, both prizes that are sort of meh. Simo will like wave a lot more than MM, since MM has already killed Mother Brain, but definitely not required today. Which does leave us with that first check-in pod, green pendant, or Turtle Rock here.
So we'll see how well this pays off for Simo. If Simo finds their bow here, I think that'll give them a bit of an advantage.
Agreed. I think MM is definitely doing that play of, I want Turtle Rock to be my last possible dungeon, so I will do everything down under the mountain before I go up.
And again, that's a good play. It might turn out wrong, but that doesn't mean it was a mistake.
Absolutely, and the thing about these seeds, and it's more to yours and 329's point, is you can run 1,000 seeds and do those quote unquote good plays every time, and sometimes they don't work out. So sometimes you just got to read the seed, how has it been treating you, and make those gambles. Simo gonna grab lava chest here. I think this should be vanilla big key. I don't think we've seen it yet.
Alrighty, MM2 Nest takes care of Vitreous' little eyeballs handily, now taking care of the big boy. makes it look simple with that butter sword.
Yep, Cape Strats dashing through those small eyeballs and then showing off why Gold Sword is locked behind Vitreous in the vanilla game. Oh, MM still has the back of Thieves Town as well. I forgot about that. But decides to go up the mountain. Oh, bad luck on the spin speed there from MM. But Simo grabbing their red shield out of Mimic Cave. So, couple of checks left in Turtle Rock, which could be our bow. Otherwise, I'm really leaning on that green pendant. MM finally using that book to grab that last tablet there. Deadrock in front of Hera, so if he was planning on going in, I think Deadrock changed his plans there. Simo gonna go ahead and grab a couple of those free hearts there on the right side of that room. Not a bad idea. Full magic refill as well if you ever find yourself in trouble. Couple of pots there, really nice pickups.
Alrighty, I had to run upstairs for a sec. Did I miss anything?
A whole lot of nothing other than a red shield for Simo, but we got Laser Bridge here, so 4 checks plus Trinex.
There's not a lot else we can't find, at least not that we haven't seen, right?
Correct. Ice Zone, it's even, well, worse or funnier depending on your point of view. Comment in chat about Bow and Hera Basement. It's actually the big key in Hera Basement. Both players opted for the Hera pot, and then both players left without getting that big key and the big chest. So if Bow is in that big chest, it's a cutscene and a tower climb away for them.
Yuck.
And at this point, when they're both up on the mountain already, if they don't do it now, it's a real feels bad situation. But Gold Sword on Trinex here, just a couple of swings on each head. Really good timing on that pause, because as one head is exploding, you can't actually pause and switch items. So Simo doing a good job getting that pause off to kill the second head, getting the 1 cycle.
Alrighty, does Trinex have an item?
I do believe so. The Extreme in chat, I believe the small key is locked in Thieves Town Big Chest. However, MM only cleared out the front 4 of Thieves Town and then noped out, so for MM to nest, there's a couple of items still in Thieves Town. Simo cleared it out. We know it's nothing, but it still could weigh on the back of MM's mind.
Alrighty, what does Simo have in mind?
So Simo still has to do Meyer here.
Oh, that's right. Simo didn't get to Meyer yet.
Yep. So Simo's got to do Meyer, and then honestly, if I were Simo, I would probably do Mother Brain while I sit there and think about what I missed. And yeah, chat calling it out. Simo not checking Hera, so that's going to be a hard last location. I can absolutely see Simo checking that one chest in Pod and grabbing that green pendant in Ice Palace before going back up the mountain to Hera. So collectively, and we'll put this to chat, sorry there's no channel points on the line, but the two checks between the two games we have are Green Pendant or Hera Big Chest. So which one are you going for, Bacht?
I'm going to say it's Green Pendant.
I'm going to agree with you, just because of how early we did have access to Ice Palace. We had that Fire Rod really early. We had those mitts in that Moon Pearl before the hour mark, and we had the flippers in Hype Cave. So we've had access to that Green Pendant for a really long time, and actually longer than we've had access to Hera. So my gut's telling me that the seed is putting it there. We do have Pyramid Fairy. Good point, B. Don. I do apologize for that. So there are those 4 checks then that we have. It could be that horrible first chest in Pod. Yep. Sitting there the whole time waiting for someone to stop by.
That would just be the worst.
Yeah. And it just goes back to that, the saying of the seed, not a bad play, just one that doesn't work out. Extreme Me, Pyramid Ledge was Super Missiles.
Be done. We've already found all 3 prizes in Eastern. And it's a pendant, so... And Claw Tunics, yes, Simo checked all of Laser Bridge. There was nothing there.
Yeah, and what's really amazing to think about is, we're sitting here pontificating the very last few checks that these runners can make, and they're at a quarter to 3 hours. So they're full clearing 2 games in almost 3 hours. It's just amazing to think about. Dr. RM, collectively, yes. MM2 does have a couple of odd checks here and there. And I believe Simo has orphaned a few checks here and there that he's not going to get punished for, but collectively, those are our last checks.
Simo gets their wave beam, and that'll be 900 damage a charge shot for them when they fight Mother Brain.
Yep, MM getting bullied a little bit by the Pokey there, as Simo making their way into Meyer Basement. So not quite going to get dueling bosses here, but this is where decisions get made by MM. Do you check that one chest in Hera? Do you check Pyramid Fairy, the one chest in Pod, or Green?
The one extreme, if you didn't see it, more Palanch were at PB's in jail in the Lower North Fair escape.
Cloth, that's absolutely right. I think the logic we're going with is the runners don't want to go in there in case it's bow locked, but at this point, you know, odds are it's there or somewhere nearby.
Alrighty, where's MM2 Ness heading? Link's house. Is this? What are they going for? Pod, or are they going for the?
This looks like the Pyramid Fairy check, but one thing is for sure: this is an absolute hard last location on Hera Big Chest.
Hopefully, so they don't get. Hopefully, they don't get punished too hard for it. But we'll see.
Yep, it is a nice little chain of Pyramid Fairy. MM hasn't checked the ledge yet. Accidentally buys those bombs. But Pyramid Fairy to ledge to Green Pendant to pod. It is a nice little chain for MM. So again, solid play. It just, you hope that it's not in Hera Big Chest at that point.
Right. Be done. Yeah, that would have been terrible if he'd accidentally bought the pack of bombs and then didn't have enough for the super bomb. That would be awful. Looks like some frustration slashes on Simo's part. MM2 Nest gets their check of the ledge in arrows. There it is. 2 hours, 50 minutes, 55 seconds or so. MM2 Nest has found their bow and is now in go mode.
Yep, the full archery starter kit there in Pyramid Fairy.
All right, so Simo not going to be punished too harshly for the checks they've skipped.
Yep, so gonna grab the bow here, realize that they are also in go mode, clear out pod, but the big gap here right now for Simo is Simo does still have to kill Mother Brain.
Okay, so yeah, not at this point. I feel comfortable saying MM2 Nest will probably finish first.
Definitely first of our restream. We'll fill in everyone else once we have some restream runners here on how everyone else is doing. Field of about 20 runners today, so a good field of runners in today's hard mode race.
Yeah, first on restream, that's what I meant.
Yep, I got you, Box. It's all for the YouTube viewers. Yep, good bomb duplication glitch there by Simo. So if you leave the bomb behind but transition right as it's 0, the game, being bad at doing two things at once, just thinks, oh, well, you can't possibly have transitioned when the bomb was exploding, so you still have the bomb.
Okay, so what all does MM2 Nest need to go mode pod?
The big key. So just got to find that big key in order to go back and get to Helmasaur there. So, and then from there, just go to the right side, and then one small key to get down into Helma's room.
Got it. Looks like MM2 Nest gambling on vanilla big key. Not rewarded.
Yep, you are guaranteed 4 small keys in the front of pod, just with how the key logic works. And so that way you can't soft lock yourself in the dungeon. So a lot of times you're going to find a lot of small keys in the front, and then all the good stuff is in the back.
Hence the nickname Mullet Mansion.
Yep, and about 2 hours after getting him, finally able to use those silver arrows that we found so long ago.
Those were on Stumpy, right?
I believe you are correct there, Bacht.
Cloud tunics, yeah, because business in the front, party in the back.
Yep, I do believe that was Dr. Bob Tastic coined that one in the Link to the Past community.
I know of him, but I've never commentated with him.
Definitely a big personality in the Link to the Past community, but MM2 with that big key accidentally bricking himself there, but gets through, shoots that Igor, that literally the only reason we needed the bow for Pod right there. And the Mimicrums. Could Mimic clip them, but bow is faster.
And again, that's a glitch not expected by the Link to the Past side of the logic.
Yep, so as we're winding down here, quick reminders for anyone who joined late and was wondering what the heck was going on. This was a hard mode seed, hard mode only being determined in the Super Metroid tricks that one might need to do to get through the seed. I don't believe we were actually hard locked by any of those tricks today, though. Bacht, unless you're remembering something that I'm missing, because we had various suit before we needed to go into any of the Norfair areas. We had gravity suit before needing to go into Meridia at all. I don't think anything was locked behind a short charge or a mock ball, or even the wall jumps.
No, not that I can think of either. Meantime, MM2 Ness at Helmasaur King, 18 wax with the hammer, I believe, to break the mask, and then I believe it's two gold sword slashes or 1 silver arrow.
Yep, lots of options on taking out the Helmasaur King here.
Alrighty, and now that that's Step Christmas for MM2 Ness cartridge, let's play a game. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be, so get your guesses in as to which one it is. I'm going with my old standby, 4 always wins.
Fair enough. Well, 2 of my usual checks are already in chat, so I'm going to go with 17 today. It's a bit cruel, but it does mean they have to do both sides of the basement in some form. Got a wide range of numbers popping in chat. Love to see it, as we do have Simo taking on their Helmasaur King. Pretty over-equipped for this fight compared to what the vanilla game wants you to have, for sure. Oh, and MM just missing the hook clip there. Gonna have to reset that room more. Climb it the slow way.
Going for the room reset. Oh, Claw Tunic's also pointing out Simo needs to fit. Simo hasn't gotten through Skull Woods yet.
Yep, did the front and then had the fire rod, but decided not to do the back. Not sure if that was a conscious decision or if it was just one of those oops moments. We can definitely chat with them in the post-race interview.
Absolutely.
So a few more seconds if you haven't gotten your guess into chat. Not playing for any internet points today, but always fun to get the bragging rights. The good news is Simo remembered they still needed to do Skullwoods before trying to climb the mountain.
Yeah, I've seen runners head to Gaina's tower with 6 crystals before. It's probably one of the more embarrassing mistakes to make.
Yep, so MM starting on the left side, just got a small key on Bob's torch here, check number 1. So going to get 4 checks here in the Stolfos room in just a moment. So number 2, we have a piece of heart. Number 3, missiles. Number 4, small key. Number 5, missiles. And looks like MM is slowly opting to go the what's coined as the Dark Magician route, coined by a runner Dark Magician who checks those first 5 items and then goes right side.
Alrighty, let's see how this turns out. That's 6 and 7, still nothing going on yet. Not going to check tile room.
Simo getting bullied a little bit by Moth there, but manages to take the bug down.
Ooh, MM2 Nest missed the cycle on the torches. Just barely, too.
Only thing in this room that feels worse is accidentally getting grabbed by that Wallmaster.
I can imagine.
So 8, 9, 10, and 11 coming up here.
And still nothing doing.
Yep, so now MM has a choice to make. Either keep going to Armos on ice, but grabbing that mirror and gonna go left side.
Yeah, Dark Magician strat did not pay off here.
Yep, so we're going to have check number 12 down here in the double fire bar room in just a moment.
Simo making their way over to Gaina's tower, just about there.
Yep, could make up a good chunk of time here depending on where that key turns up and what Simo's route through Ganon's tower is. Again, still needs to do Mother Brain, but could make up a good chunk of time here.
Absolutely they could, but yeah, MM2 Nest is absolutely, barring equipment failure, I think MM2 Nest is almost certainly going to be our first place on Restream. I believe that was 13.
Correct. So now coming up 14, 15, 16, 17 in Rando Room, because unless you looked at the Ganon's Tower map as a kid, you probably didn't even know this room existed.
Alrighty, so next up is 18 at Bob the Anti-Fairy, who unfortunately was patched out of the combo randomizer. Then behind Ice Armos is 19, 20, and 21. And if that doesn't pay out, then Tile Room will be 22.
Yep, Tile Room is the ultimate feels bad here, especially after doing Dark Magician where you go left, then right, then left. Really feels like you've just done a lot of backtracking when the key was right there all along. But 4 checks before we have to worry about that reality.
Alright, so we are going to see the Armos. And these guys are an absolute pushover with the Silver Arrows. Just one apiece will take them down.
Yes, Dr. RM. Simo has Skullwoods. The tracker has been eating a couple of the clicks today. And
oh god, it is Tile Room.
Oh, the troll. The troll.
So MM2Nest gonna pop the cape on and then grab onto the wall, which again, the game is not good at doing two things at once. So while you're grabbing onto the wall, it forgets to drain your magic for the cape. Alrighty, MM2Nest has 3 small keys, so most likely, so he'll have plenty to make it up the tower. Little low on health, thinking about powdering that anti-fairy, it looks like. There we go. Alrighty, MM2Nest heading for the 4th floor and no, not quite.
Yep, just has to get through the cannonball room and then can start the official gauntlet climb here. Opting to take the refill room, though, not a terrible idea. Grab some magic, grab some fairies.
I don't think the bug net showed up, did it?
I don't believe so, but it could very well be further up the tower.
Right.
Yep,
And into the 4th floor gauntlet. You go ahead.
Simo about to get the unfortunate news that it is indeed tile room.
Yeah, the gauntlet starts with enemies and conveyors. Then you add a Beamos. Then you add spikes and another Beamos. And then you add ice because, why would you do this? I feel like the gauntlet is another one of those situations where someone was just having a bad day.
Yeah, one of the people working on the game at Nintendo at the time be like, all right, boss, I just had a really rough day. Great, we need you to design the last dungeon.
And MM2Nest using Fire Rod and Gold Door to absolutely obliterate Lemolas too.
Yeah, really nice one cycle there on that. And then these just some of the most satisfying rooms in the game, really getting to show off more of that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, Samaria's strats on these whiz ropes is just, it's so cool to watch.
Just crisp and satisfying. Now a couple more torch puzzles, and then Moldorm on an even worse arena than before, and then Agonometry.
And MM2Nest got to save a little bit of magic using that lamp. Has to be careful here because if that door closes while you're going up the stairs, you can despawn the top of the tower and then have to reload the whole dungeon.
Absolutely, it's one of those. I feel like it's a mythical folklore at this point because I haven't seen it happen, but I'm still too scared to try it, so it happens to me.
I've never seen it either.
I have heard enough first-hand accounts that I'll believe it, though. Mostly because, as we've covered, the game doesn't do two things at the same time very well.
Ooh, Moldorm Fall.
Yep, that means that does mean both of our runners have taken a Moldorm Fall today, so that evens that out.
It only evens out if MM2 takes another fall, so that he's fallen a total of 2 floors.
Solid point.
But that's not going to happen.
Nope. Does just fine getting through. Doesn't bother checking Moldorm's last remains. Gonna head over to Aghanim. The twist from Aghanim 1 is now there's 3 Aghanims. So we have the Extreme Me in chat calling, gonna look for a 2-2-2 cycle here. So we'll see if MM can get off a couple of double hits and multi-hits here.
Alrighty, let's see how this goes.
Really nice cluster there for a multi. Gets the 2.
And now this positioning sucks.
Yep, that one was tough. This one, however, could be a triple. No! Aghanim says no, it won't.
So that was a 2-1-2-1. Very nice.
Yep. You know, anything under 6 cycles is better than what the game intended you to do. Oh, Simo taking an unfortunate hit from that firebar, though. Gotta be careful now. Gotta keep an eye on magic and on hearts here in this torch room.
Alrighty, so with that gold sword, Ganon phase 1 will take 6 slashes. Ganon phase 2 will take another 6. As I mentioned earlier, phase 3 always takes 4, no matter what your damage source is. And then for phase 4, stun with the sword, 4 silver arrows while stunned. Oh no! Oh, okay, I forgot where the tile started falling from. I thought MM2 Nest was just going to be out of luck there.
Yep, definitely got wombo comboed by those bats. If you get hit by those fire bats, it does reverse your control for a little bit. So if you tap right, you'll go left. So definitely could have taken a fall there, but does a really good job to recover.
Yeah, I didn't know those bats did that. Alrighty, getting trolled a bit here. Got a double there, very nice. Go for another double?
Nope, dodges the bat though. Gonna just set fire to these and should be MM2 just pleasantly on his way across the little bridge there. Nice little center kill, Ganon. And that's both bosses down, so please get your double G's in chat for MM2 Nest cartridge.
Alrighty, as soon as they cross, we'll give you their official time. Alrighty, and that is a time of 3 hours, 13 minutes flat, good enough for second place. We have PP Chan finish in first place at 3 hours, 9:21. Absolutely, very good performance by MM2 Nest cartridge. And in the meantime, we just had Niterific finish in third place at 3 hours, 14:05. So we'll see if we can get MM2 Nest up in here for a post-race interview. And we have also had 3 DNFs. Freddy N3K, DVS7, and Vampstar 87 all forfeited a while back.
Yep, and we got SEMO about to drop into their Ganon fight here. Much like what we saw on the right side of the screen here, gold swords, silver arrows, should be a nice slick fight.
The only thing that could go really wrong for SEMO, I would say, is taking a fall when the tiles start dropping. Using the iframes from the hook shot to dodge the bats, very well done. Ooh, that was a swag one. And we've now had Maniacal finish in 4th place at 3:15.11, and Omniflash at 3:15.23 for 5th place. Like I said, minutes, if not seconds.
Yep, really nice setup there to get the triple. Oh, just barely misses that 3rd arrow, but no problem. Freezes Ganon in time. That's a single G in chat for SEMO. Still has to rip through Torian and defeat Mother Brain.
That'll take probably about 12 minutes. In the meantime, Dwarn Traveler, if you can see if MM2Ness would like to come in for an interview. And meantime, this right here is why Mother Brain is commonly the second boss. This way, because as soon as you beat Ganon, you can save the game and then hard reset to respawn and respawn right there. And now you're only about a minute from Torian. And Tony T. Young finishing in 6th place at 3 hours 17 flat. Alrighty, SEMO proceeding on through. And SEMO's Torian will be very much the same as MM2Ness's Torian was, except since they have the wave beam, it might be easier for them to do the baby skip, and Mother Brain will also be a slightly faster fight. That charged Ice Wave Plasma does 900 compared to 600 if you don't have the wave beam.
Yep, definitely nice to have just that little bit extra firepower. Meant that SEMO didn't have to stop at the ship and refill all those super missiles.
Little time saves, like you said.
Definitely add up, especially, like you've pointed out, we've had 6 runners all finish within 8 minutes of each other after a seed took 3 hours. So, those every time you can make that time save, it's going to help out. And looks like we are now joined by MM2Ness cartridge GG's.
GG. Yeah, that I'd say the highlight of that race was doing Pendant Ice Palace before a lot of other stuff like Bolus Pod or other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that check absolutely paid off for you. Well done.
Yeah. It's like when I decided to do it, I was like, okay, we have Fire Rod, Hookshot, Mitts, and Flippers, all available before Morph. And I just got Samaria. So I was like, okay, I'll carry this Catfish loop over and do, Waterfall Fairy. And then I'll just do Pendant Ice Palace because, there's no real better time to do it. And also I thought it was a crystal, so I just did it that way.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I thought it was a crystal, so I went in and then by the time I noticed I was in a pendant dungeon, it was too late. And then I found the Bombos, and I was like, wow, that paid off a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah, and by the time, you were routing over to Pod, well, just before Pyramid Fairy, we were talking and streaming in chat about how there were only a couple of checks left, and so having that green pendant in your pocket, that's something Simo skipped. So had Bo been there, it would have worked out in your favor.
Yeah, that too. But like, also having never done chest game, that like really scared me because like I had basically orphaned that unless I was going to go back into Pendant Thieves Town or do Smith's Chain, especially since I had left Skull Woods without doing it. So I was really scared that either Bo or Bombos was going to be there, and I would just lose a bunch of time on the check that a lot of other people would have done really early. Just like my rupee count after doing Zora just was so low that it was just not really a good play in my opinion. But yeah, that kind of bailed me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, I haven't seen too many runners, get rupees from the bushes outside of the arrow game, but that was definitely fun to see.
Yeah, me neither. That was just... I think I've done that once in an inverted A Link to the Past solo seed. I've never ever done that in SMZ3. So yeah, that was definitely first for me.
So you already said you felt good about the Ice Palace check. Was there anything else you felt particularly good or bad about in terms of your routing?
In terms of routing, I feel like my routing was pretty decent. Like once I got the Morph Ball, I was definitely questioning myself. Like, should I do my standard Brinstar, Retro Brinstar, Rec Shift, and everything else loop that I do it, or should since like everything in SM is open at that point, should I skip some stuff and then do Brinstar later? And I ended up just doing Brinstar like normal, just because mainly because that was like what I always do, so it wouldn't feel uncomfortable to me. But yeah, that's another thing I feel strongly about, kind of. Yeah. Also, my movement in like the Brinstar loop was atrocious. Like I was cursing myself out the entire way just because I was just messing so much stuff up. Especially given that I had high jump and speed, and I run a lot of Super Metroid categories that do that area with the equipment I had. So I was just like, why am I messing all this stuff up? Yeah.
If I can pop in real quick, we just had Blendation and Farfaloo finish in 7th and 8th place, close enough for a tie. 321.50 and 321.53.
Oh wow, that's insanely close. I would definitely watch that back. Just those two racers, just like a 3-second difference in an SMZ3 is just crazy.
Yeah, I say all the time on commentary, minutes if not seconds in a 3-hour race. It will never stop being surprising to me.
Agreed. Like I love watching close SMZ3 races just because like you never see them. They're super rare, but like when they are, they're just so gripping.
And so my other question, MM2 Ness, letter grade scale, how much fun was this one for you?
Probably like a C, just because the Morph, the beginning of the game up until like Morph was at best a D-, just because it was just like, oh, last location thing on Zora. Oh great, now I get to do more Morphless Super Metroid. That's just gonna be so fun. And yeah, then I found the mitts in the last location, Morphless SM, and then I did the last thing on my first Dark World loop for Morph. That was just three kind of last locations in a row. Not actually last locations, of course.
Right.
And to that point, MM, the first hour of the run, like you were saying, felt like a letter grade D. You stuck mostly to logic, whereas Simo went and broke logic. Went through the dark room, up the mountain to get into Upper Norfair, and didn't really find much from those sequence breaks. So, sticking to logic, and while yes, it felt like a last location, is that something you try to do in your SMZ3 seeds, or is that just sort of how this one worked out?
It really depends on the seed for me, because like in this seed, it was really the lamp on the torrent, on the library that made me not do darker, because I figured there was a decent chance that boots were going to be my progression on something like Zora. and if that was the case, I really wanted to get those as soon as possible, because of course boots make literally everything in the game faster. But yeah, that was the main reason I didn't do the dark room there, just because I didn't want to miss out on a potential boots.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and also I figured there was gonna be, like, if there was a morph on Death Mountain, oh well, I lose a ton of time. But I figured, like, I know there's gonna be progression in these checks, so I should probably follow. But yeah, that's the main reason I stuck to logic in the early part of the game.
Awesome,
And
it paid off.
In the meantime, SMZ actually saved the animals and is now finishing with an official SRL time of, not SRL, racetime.gg time of 3:24:35 for 9th place.
GG.
Absolutely. Get your GGs in chat for SMZ there finishing up. We'll see if we can't bring SMZ in and sort of chat with both of you through the last few minutes. I know it's been 3.5 hours, but if you're willing to stick around a little longer, we'd love to get more of your thoughts here.
Yeah, I'd love to always talk to my opponent. Well, one of my opponents. There are a bunch more off the restream, but yeah, definitely interested to see how they routed it compared to me. But yeah, another thing I really didn't dislike was the early Turian play for me, just because I knew at that point the only thing that would make Turian faster would be Wave, and there was a very decent chance Wave could have been in GT. So I didn't really want to put Turian off for that long, and since I had to go back to Zelda at that point after getting the Samaria, I was going right past the ship, so it was a really convenient time for me to do Turian.
Yeah, I believe Wave was in GT. We are joined by SMZ. If you could confirm that for us, because I know you did get Wave.
I don't actually remember where I found the Wave.
Yeah,
Wave was big chest in Mire.
Yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was definitely where Wave was. Yeah, GG SMZ.
And GG. I think I just ended up doing too many maybe slow overworld checks, and that probably added up over time. Like, I ended up going back for some tablets and stuff, which I really shouldn't have done. And I forgot to look at the TR medallion the first time I was there.
Oh no, I've lost a race on that, so that hurts. That exact mistake I've lost a race on.
So I came back up when I just had Quake and all the other stuff, and I was like, I can probably do TR. Gonna find the bow in there, it'll go good. But then I found nothing, so I just went and did Hera, and then found like a book in Spike Cave, so I did some slow tablets.
Yeah, I think like TR was like one of my last two. No, it was like it was one of my last two crystals, because like I already had Bombos at that point, but yeah, bow on Laser Bridge was my hope.
I mean, bow is usually in TR, and I mean in this case it was just behind TR, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're looking for bow, you should just go do TR as soon as you can.
That or ice
unless it's a pendant. If it's a pendant, then you're gonna get to like Trinex and not find the bow and cry. At least that's my experience.
All right, SMZ, my first question for you. Was there anything about your routing you felt particularly good or bad about?
I mean, I felt good about it at first, but then I was going back. I was pretty convinced I had skipped the boot or the flute because I had found speed. So I then was doing like the slow checks in the Light World, doing like Ice Rod Cave and then Agina and then Zora, which gave me the screw attack. So I went back to Super Metroid to find the Moon Pearl and Old Mother Brain. So that was kind of slow.
Yeah, just everything felt slow in the scene until like we got all the stuff, and then it's just like, where's the bow? Where's the bombos? Where's the everything else?
And my second question for you, letter grade scale, how much fun was the seed for you?
I mean, it was pretty fun. It wasn't too hard. I played it pretty carelessly and took a lot of damage for no good reasons, but I was never really in any danger.
The seed was fairly generous with health.
When I play a hard mode seed like this, I'm always hoping that you're actually supposed to do some cool hard mode stuff, but it never really seems to actually be the case.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, there was not a lot of
that.
Yeah. You go ahead, Tiberius.
Sorry. Yeah, we were discussing that, trying to think of if anything was actually locked behind a hard mode trick, and that early route, Simo, we noticed you were like you were saying, trying to do some more of those tricks, hoping they would pan out. But this one just felt like it was just a seed that could have expected, but never really did.
Yeah, like I had the speed and the Varia, so I just went and did all the Norfair checks I could. I did the fun Stutter 3 in Crocomire to check those, but it was nothing. So it was a little disappointing, but it happens. I got a sword out of doing Norfair, so it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, that tempered with... Well, I got it as tempered, so it was like, woo, I don't have to do Master Sword again. And then I just found Gold Sword and Hera right after, and I was like, oh, well, that's great, I guess.
Yep,
Your Master Sword isn't too fun.
I can agree with that.
Master Sword.
Go ahead, Bach.
Yeah, Master Sword Ganon is impressive to watch, but I imagine it's probably not fun to do.
I'd agree with that. Just it's not just not fun; it's really punishing if you mess it up late in the fight. Just so like if you take a death or you fall, that's like multiple minutes you lose, as opposed to like a few minutes if you fall with a tempered or gold sword Ganon.
Right.
Simo, wanted to pick your brain on one particular play. You cleared out the front of Skull Woods pretty early, but then you had Fire Rod but didn't do Moth. Was that just a comfort level at that point, or was it... I've done it before where I misclick a tracker and don't think I can complete a boss. Just wanted to pick your brain on that.
Oh, well, I had already found both items, and I figured it would be faster to come back to Skull Woods when I had boots and the better sword.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
I could have done Skull Woods at the time, but it would have been like a kind of hard fight for no payoff at all, so I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, Fighter Sword Moth. I will never voluntarily choose to do that. I mean, I might, but that would just not be a good time at all.
So then after that, you go down and you find the Morph Ball eventually. I did Thieves Town first, just because when I have Myth's Dark World access like that, I just try to be really thorough. I don't want to have to come back and go through stuff again.
Yeah, I never did chess game, and that terrified me near the end. That was just really scary.
And there was a couple of slow checks that I skipped, like I didn't do Shack Tool or Plasma. And one chest in Hera because I did a Hera pot. So whatever's in the big chest, I'll never know.
Yeah, same here. Did not do Hera Big Chest. Did do Shack Tool Plasma. I ended up 100% SM. Well, as 100% as you get with like seeing items and skipping them. But I checked everything.
Yeah, it generally seems like Super Metroid always gets at least 100% checked in these races.
Yeah, that or close to it. It's just, I feel like it's the nature of the games. Like, SM is just more than a few other things, and then you can 100% the game, and then Link to the Past needs so many things for so much stuff. So really, it feels like it's usually Link to the Past that you get Gun Mode later, and you end up doing more of SM. I know I like to do more of SM when I can because SM is my stronger game. So I try to put emphasis on that and just try to save time by being in Super Metroid as opposed to Link to the Past.
And if I can butt in for a sec, Joe Shark has now finished in 10th place at 331.50.
GG.
Yeah, GG to Joe Shark.
Right, Tiberius, do you have anything else you'd like to ask our runners? Because I'm about out of stuff.
The last thing is you both did a couple of meme plays, which I enjoyed watching. Super missiling the spring ball, Simo saving the animals. I gotta ask, how did you feel about the seed memeing back with the Ganon's Tower big key and tile room?
You should have known. Like, this kind of seed, it's got to be tile room.
Yeah, I was tempted to do it, but and do like early tile room, but it didn't happen, and I regretted it.
Yeah, I think pretty much every runner probably checked that number 22, so no time lost there. But no, I just wanted to say thank you both for putting on a heck of a show. Being restreamed is fantastic that we have a community that can do this. So thank you both for putting it out there, putting on a great show for everyone. Shout outs to Big Bach and to Warren Traveler for calming and tracking with me. Simo, any last thoughts from either of you two?
GG's to everybody. Thanks for racing. I always look forward to these weeklies. So yeah, it's great to see the community that's been built around them.
Yeah, GG. Thank you again for the commentary and the tracking. I appreciate it. I always like being able to be on the restream. I think it's pretty fun. It's a good thing that the community is able to do. And GG's to everyone else, and have yourselves a great day.
And both of you have a great day too.
All right, plenty of other action coming up on the different speed gaming channels. Make sure to check those out. Again, thanks to everyone involved today. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care, all.
I've been Big Bach, T's been Tiberius, Tracker's been Warren Traveler. See you next mission.